first half is over. The Mavericks didn't capture the first half crown, and, well, now they're just going to have to forget about it. Not let it affect them. Still about a full half of baseball left to play. We're now in game number 74 out of 140. And the Mavericks will be happy to take on the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes once again. The Mavericks took all 7 games from the Quakes last week. As the second half continues, as we shift back to Adelanto, California. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Rosen. It'll be my pleasure to be painting the picture for you this evening, as the Mavericks try to build on their win last night at Inland Empire and finish up the pre-All-Star break schedule with 3 games at home against the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, who are slumping. And not much has gone right for them. If you remember, the Mavericks, of course, took all 7, sweeping a home-and-home series last week. Rancho then dropped 2 out of 3 at home over the weekend against Lake Elsinore to finish up the homestand, in which they went 1-5. Well, Rancho Cucamonga now 1-2 in the second half, as are the Mavericks overall. High Desert 40-33, as Rancho Cucamonga is 33-40. Today, the pitching matchup for the Mavericks, it's going to be right-hander Billy Buckner. Buckner 7-1 with a 3.89 ERA, and he's going to be taking on Carl Jelena. Jelena was a late addition to the lineup today for Rancho Cucamonga. Fernando Rodriguez became ill, so in steps Jelena. Jelena now again on the season, 0-2, 759. He's thrown only 10 2/3 innings. Made his first 2 starts of the season, and he got hit with a 50-game ban for testing positive for performance-enhancing substance. So if you're here at the ballpark tonight, now the new rules that went into effect in Major and Minor League Baseball to cut down on what was perceived as rampant steroid use. Well, the pitcher going for Rancho Cucamonga tonight is one of those people that you're going to want to point that finger at. So that's the matchup tonight. Tomorrow it's going to be Kyle Chris going against Micah Posey. And then on Saturday, Danny Christensen going up against Fernando Rodriguez. Rodriguez pushed 2 starts back. Well, the Mavericks going to go with this lineup against the right-hander, Carl Jelena. High Desert leading it off. It's going to be shortstop Irving Falu. He'll be followed by the second baseman, Mike Gaffney. And the number 3 spot, designated hitter Mike Zdolka. In the cleanup spot, first baseman Rusty Brown. Batting 5th, center fielder Juan Senrizo. He's followed by catcher Adam Donnie. In the 7th spot, right fielder Brian McFall. He has been red hot, driving in runs. Batting 8th, left fielder James Tomlin and Ed Lucas. Batting 9th, playing third base, Tomlin and Lucas. Excellent night at the plate last night. Together, the two were combined 6 for 8 with 4 RBIs and 3 runs scored. Lucas also stole a couple of bases. Meanwhile, here's the starting lineup penned in by manager Bobby Mitchell for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Leading off, center fielder Josh LeBlanc. He'll be followed by first baseman Cliff Remley. In the number 3 spot, third baseman Freddy Sandoval. He's followed by catcher Michael Collins. Batting 5th, left fielder Pat Riley. The hot Sean Rodriguez. Batting 6th, playing shortstop. In the number 7 spot, right fielder Drew Suzon. Suzon followed by Ben Johnson as the designated hitter. And Nate Sutton, the number 9 hitter, is the Quakes' second baseman. So the Mavericks taking the field here. This is the first home game of the second half for High Desert. Mavericks have been lights out in June, posting a 15-5 record. Mavericks 8-2 in their last 10. And the only 2 games they lost were the 2 they needed to win the most. Those games are Monday and Tuesday at Inland Empire. Meanwhile, home plate umpire today is Brad Lawhead. And in the field, it's Matt Hensel.
And on the mound, Billy Buckner.
So Billy Buckner taking the hill for High Desert today. And the question is, which Billy Buckner is going to show up? We're hoping it's the Billy Buckner who's better ability at throwing strikes. Billy, it seems, has almost regressed a little bit recently. Has been having trouble getting the ball over the plate. Well, we'll see if he can come home and right his wrongs here. His last appearance is just 2 innings long. And we'll talk about Billy in just a moment, but first, here's our national anthem performed by Ashley and Brittany.
Ashley and Brittany Dawson.
And that was Ashley and Brittany Dawson, both sounding the flute. We're just about ready to get this game underway. Mavericks welcoming the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes back to town, and welcoming is definitely the accurate word there. Mavericks very happy to see this ball club back in town. To say that Rancho Cucamonga's defense is suspect is a bit of an understatement. Mavericks just want to hang with this team to keep the game close. Eventually, Rancho Cucamonga will make mistakes in the field on the base paths, and that will shift the game into the Mavericks' favor. This is a team that is playing poor baseball right now, but then again, they field a very solid lineup. And maybe this is just what they need coming back to Atlanta to really kickstart their offense. But again, this is a team that was shut out on Friday night, and managed only 3 runs over the weekend. Against the Lake Elsinore Storm, the Quakes batting just .214 over their last 5 games, and they have lost 9 out of their last 10. So we'll see if the Mavericks can keep their streak against the Quakes going. The Mavericks have now won 8 straight against Rancho Cucamonga. As play begins today, the Mavericks bringing up just a brief 3-game homestand. 3 against Rancho Cucamonga, and then it's the All-Star break. Mavericks going to start out the post-All-Star break schedule in Lake Elsinore for a 5-game series. Meanwhile, we're a little bit late getting started today. They still haven't even turned on the lights yet, so hopefully those will go on in just a bit. But first pitch today won't be until 7:09 p.m. Temperature at game time, 94 degrees. It was a warm day today in the Valley. 20-mile-an-hour wind out to left field. The first pitch from Buckner is a strike on Josh LeBlanc. The two-seamer in there. The count now 0-1. LeBlanc batting .247 this year. Buckner comes right back, and that was line to the right side over the head of Mike Gaffney. That's into right for a base hit. That was a fastball left up in the zone. And LeBlanc made Buckner pay for it. Slams it into right field for the single. No score just underway. Top of the first inning. Cliff Remley stepping in for the Quakes. Remley, the first baseman, batting .291. He has 2 home runs, 22 RBIs. Remley, though, been struggling lately. And only has 3 hits in his last 16 at-bats. Most of the members of this Quakes lineup have been struggling as of late. And then again, they had to go up against some tough pitching that Lake Elsinore has to offer over the weekend. Meanwhile, Buckner looking in back at the Mavericks dugout, getting some words of wisdom from manager Jeff Carter. Mavericks pitching coach is Steve Rancho, the hitting coach is Bruce Day. So Remley now in from the left side with a close stance. Buckner peering it. Lucas playing close to the grass at third base. The first pitch is a fastball that misses away, and the count now 1-0. That first hit of the game by LeBlanc. Really surprising. Buckner generally keeps the ball low, especially early in the game. And poor Billy averages 2.5 ground balls for every fly ball he gives up. The next pitch misses away again. And the count now 2 balls and no strikes. Billy has to work in keeping that 2-0 count down. Meanwhile, Eric Jensen tosses a rosin bag out to the mound. That looks like what Billy was looking for out there. No one yet. They put the rosin bag on the field. Well, he picks it up, slams it back down. He's going to have to go back to work against Cliff Remley, 2-0. LeBlanc, an average lead from first. He's holding as the next pitch is chopped to the right side. Gaffney gloves it to Falu for 1, and they won't have a play over at first. Here's a hard slide by Josh LeBlanc, and Irving Falu just couldn't get it out of his hand. So Remley replaces LeBlanc on the base paths. The Mavericks will take that. Josh LeBlanc, really one of the speedsters on this Rancho Cucamonga team.
Freddy Sandoval.
And that'll bring up Freddy Sandoval to the plate. Third baseman coming in, .289 average, 3 home runs, 23 RBIs. All 3 home runs against High Desert this year. Switch hitter out of Tijuana, Mexico. Open stance from the left side against the right-hander Buckner. No score, 1 out, runner at first for the Quakes, top of the first inning. Buckner's first pitch on the way is a fastball that misses in the dirt, and the count now 1-0. Billy coming off of a poor outing against Rancho Cucamonga. That was last Saturday at the Epicenter. He lasted just 2 innings in that game. Walked 4 batters, allowed 3 runs. 2 of which scored on the bases loaded Josh LeBlanc double. 1-0, misses low and away, and the count now 2 balls and no strikes on Freddy Sandoval. Buckner has been having a difficult June. Now a 6.16 ERA this year, in this month of the season, I should say. And he has walked 12 batters in 19 June innings. 2-0, misses low on the changeup, and the count now 3 balls and no strikes on Sandoval as catcher Michael Collins stands in on deck. No score, 1 out, top of the first inning. Buckner hoping to battle back against Sandoval as the 3-0 pitch. There's a fastball in there. The count now 3-1. Tonight's Buckner's sixth start against Rancho Cucamonga. And over his last 5 outings against this squad, he's 2-0 with a 3.71 ERA. He struck out 37 in 26 2/3. So the first base is not in time. Remley has to dive to get back to the bag safely. 3-1 to Sandoval. Outfield straight away for High Desert, but now left fielder James Tomlin moving over towards the gap in left center. Another throw to first base, another slide. The tag by Rusty Brown is late. Defensively, the Mavericks with Tomlin in left, then Rizzo in center, McFall over in right, Lucas at third, Falu at short, Gaffney at second, Brown over at first. The 3-1 with the runner going is line to the right side. That's exactly where Gaffney was. He couldn't get there in time. That's a base hit on the hit and run. On the way to third base on the textbook play is Cliff Remley. And Freddy Sandoval gets the job done with a single into right field, and the Quakes now have runners at the corners with 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Back to the Mavericks defense. Again, the battery today. Billy Buckner, Adam Donnie. The designated hitter for the Mavs is Mike Fedolka.
Michael Collins.
So Mike Gaffney broke towards the base to cover. Sandoval does a good job of keeping it on the ground to the right side, hitting it exactly where Gaffney was. Hit and run works. Michael Collins now has a chance to drive in a run. Collins, the all-star catcher, batting .295, 4 home runs, 43 RBIs. His 4th home run of the season came yesterday. We'll see if he can carry that here into today's game. The first hit from Buckner is a changeup that misses upstairs, and the count now 1-0. Buckner must cut down on his walk total this year. His 43 walks, second most in the league. But he's also gone a lot of innings. 83 in the third inning. That's tied for 5th in the league. So 1-0 on the way. And that one, check swing. That one ended off the bottom of the bat. Hit the very base of the bat. Glanced off Collins. And the count 1-1. That almost looked like a chance where Collins tried to really lean into that pitch. That really doesn't make the Mavericks happy. Collins really has that reputation in this league of someone who really tries to lower the shoulder and get hit by pitch. That looked like what that last opportunity was. But it glances off the bottom of Collins' bat. So 1-1 now the count. As Remley leads off from third, Sandoval from first. Buckner open for a ground ball to one of his middle infielders here. Brown holding on the runner at first. The next pitch is a chopper to the left side. Falu flips it to Gaffney for one. The throw to first is in time. And that's a 6-4-3 double play, and that'll do it for the for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes in the first inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, a man left. Now heading to the bottom of the first inning. Rancho nothing. Mavericks coming right up on Talk 960 right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So the Mavericks going to get another look here at right-hander Carl Jelena. Jelena started against the Mavericks earlier on in the season, facing off against Billy Buckner, of all people. That was back on April 11th, back at the Epicenter. And in that game, Jelena went 5 2/3 innings. Gave up 7 hits, 5 runs, though only 2 were earned. Struck out 5 in that game.
Shortstop.
But he did take the loss, as the Mavericks won that one by a score of 5-2. So Irving Falu going to lead it off from Jelena. Again, this is Jelena's first game back since serving a 50-game suspension for testing positive for a banned substance. Well, we'll see what he can do his first time out. The first pitch is a changeup. Misses outside on Falu. The count 1-0. Irving coming in with a .269 batting average, 2 home runs, one of which was a grand slam. 26 RBI. Next pitch, check swing. That one's a strike on the corner. And it's now 1-1 of the Mavericks shortstop. No score, bottom of the second inning. Runners at the corners for the Quakes in the top of the first. The Mavericks turn a double play to get out of it. Next pitch swung on and tipped into the ground on another changeup, and the count now 1-2 on Falu. For High Desert in this inning, Falu, Gaffney, and Sadolka. The top 3 batters, sent in by manager Jeff Carter. Jeff in his first year as manager of the Mavericks. As the 1-2 to Falu, a curveball. Misses low and inside, and the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carter, the 16th manager for the High Desert Mavericks in as many years. The 2-2 pitch is popped straight up. Hopefully that one will get out of play behind home plate. Moving back on the ball is Michael Collins, and he sees that one into his glove. Here the Mavericks on deck circle. Falu fouls out, and that's going to bring up Mike Gaffney to the plate.
Second baseman. Number 1, Mike Gaffney.
Gaffney, .234 average, 1 home run, 10 RBIs, standing in from the right side. And he's turned a couple double plays over the last 2 games, 2 to be exact. The next pitch has been round to the left side. Takes 2 hops, Sandoval up with it at third, and the throw to first in time. So 1 pitch retires Mike Gaffney, and that'll bring up designated hitter Mike Sadolka to the plate. Sadolka's been slumping, and his batting average has fallen to .284. 7 home runs, 35 RBIs. But it's not his fault he's been slumping. The Mavericks has really been relying on his bat for the entire season. It's really been the spark plug of the Maverick offense, and playing every single day, and getting very little days off. And, well, it's wearing on him. As the first pitch is taken low for a ball. The count now 1-0. Sadolka, though, we've seen so far this year, he's gone on hot and cold streaks, so maybe this homestand will heat him right back up again. Next pitch, a fastball for a strike on the corner, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike on the Maverick TH. No score, bottom of this first inning. Jelena's 1-1. And that one, an inadvertent foul ball to the left side on a check swing. Sadolka meant to hold up, but that one bounced off the hand. And the count once again, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sadolka did not get a hit in the 6-game road trip. Next pitch, check swing. Slider misses low and in. Jelena wanted the call. Started walking off the mound, but didn't get it. 2-2. The right-hander shakes off a sign from Collins. Now he's ready. And the 2-strike pitch is a chopper back behind the mound. Charge of the ball on Sutton. The throw to first base is just in time. That wasn't the best-looking throw from Sutton, but it gets where it needs to go. That'll do it for the Mavericks here in the first inning. They don't get the ball out of the infield. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left. We're now heading to the second inning. No score in this game. Mavericks fans, listen to High Desert Baseball on Talk 960 and HDMaps.com. Go anywhere. We'll be back with plenty of exciting baseball right after this.
Tickets to an upcoming Mavericks game. The next question is, what shortstop is leading the major leagues in assists this year? Once again, what shortstop is leading the major leagues in assists this year? If you know the answer to the Valley High Toyota Honda Scion trivia question, head on up to the High Desert Federal Credit Union Customer Service Corral and submit your answer.
Riley going to lead it off for Rancho Cucamonga. He'll be followed by Sean Rodriguez and Drew Toussaint, as Billy Buckner hopes to put up a couple more zeros after a scoreless first inning. Buckner relied on the pitcher's best friend to get out of the top of the first. A double play ball with runners on the corners. It was hit by Michael Collins. First pitch misses low on Riley. The count 1-0. He's batting .277 this year. 5 home runs, 24 RBI. He has some pop at his bat from the left side. The next pitch swung on and missed. A big uppercut on a Buckner curveball. And Riley swung from the heels, did not make contact. The count now 1-1. Riley, a home run against the Mavericks back in Friday night's game at the Epicenter. Well, the Mavericks took all 3 down in Rancho. The next pitch misses in the dirt, and it's now 2 balls and a strike. Mavericks 8 straight wins over Rancho Cucamonga, 7 of which came last week. Buckner's 2-1 pitch is a chopper to the right side. Waiting for it in fair territory is Rusty Brown. He flips it to Buckner, who makes it to the bag before Riley does. Now recorded 3-1. That will bring up Sean Rodriguez with nobody on base and 1 out. Interesting to see Rodriguez down in the lineup. And he is about as impressive as just about any hitter we've seen this season. Sean Rodriguez is somebody, he doesn't really blow you away with his size. He's 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. And he just turned 21 years old earlier in the year. But boy, he has a powerful bat with excellent bat speed. His first pitch is a well-located 2-seam fastball on the outside corner, and the count 0-1. Rodriguez batting .298, 14 home runs, 42 RBI. Next pitch is a slider that misses low and away, and the count now 1-1. No score, top of the second inning. 1 out, nobody on base. Mavericks would love to face Rodriguez a couple more times today with nobody on. As a 1-1, it's fouled off to the right side, and the count now 1-2. Rodriguez thrilled that his hometown Miami Heat captured their first NBA title. Just 2 days ago. Meanwhile, the 1-2 pitch. Slider, that one bounced foul to the left side. Buckner made him go after a pitch that was in the dirt. There was some break on that pitch. Rodriguez barely got a piece of it. 1-2. Last time the Mavericks saw Sean, he struck out 4 times in Sunday afternoon's Maverick come from behind victory. 1-2, swung on and missed on the curveball. The ball in the dirt, however. Donnie up with it. The throw to first is in time. And that's Buckner's first strikeout of the evening, and it comes on Rancho Cucamonga's best hitter.
Right fielder, number 11, Drew Toussaint.
Mavericks, we're going to welcome Drew Toussaint back to town. Mavericks did not see much of him last week. He was sick with flu-like symptoms, missed 5 games of the series. But he is up to his average. Now it stands at .241 as the first pitch misses inside, 1-0. Toussaint, 10 home runs on the year, 23 RBIs, and he has been a Maverick killer. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses low, and the count 2-0. Toussaint this year against High Desert, a .360 batting average, 6 home runs and 11 RBI. Against the rest of the league, batting around the Mendoza line. The 2-0 pitch on the way. That's a ground ball to the left side. Slow roller, waiting for it is Falu. He's up with it. The throw to first is in time. And that'll take care of the Quakes. They go 1-2-3 in the top of the second inning. For Rancho, no runs, no hits, no errors, no men left. We're now heading into the bottom of the second inning. For the Mavericks in the second, Brown, Senriso, and Donnie coming up out against Carl Jellin. And we'll see what they can do right after this 90-second commercial break. Stay tuned. Mavericks fans, you want to work out alongside your favorite Mavericks, such as Rusty Brown? Well, now you can. Head on over to the 24-hour fitness located at the corner of Bear Valley and 7th in Victorville, where Rusty and the rest of the Mavericks train, where they work out, and you can do it right alongside them. Go get pumped over at 24-hour fitness. Again, that's located at the corner of 7th and Bear Valley in Victorville. Rusty Brown batting from the right side. The first pitch is on the way, and that one's whacked foul to the left side, up against the fence of the Maverick bullpen. And the count now 0-1 of the Maverick first baseman. Rusty, 286 average, 8 home runs, 34 RBIs, and he had a solid road trip. As Jelena rears back, and 0-1 on the way, and that one swung on and missed on the curveball, 0-2. Rusty has now hit in 10 of his last 12. 2 home runs over that time. He has a .395 average over his last 12 games played. No balls, 2 strikes. The next Jelena offering swung on and missed on the curveball, and Rusty Brown is retired on 3 straight pitches. So 1 out for the Mavericks here in the second inning, and that'll bring up Juan Senrizo to the plate. Senrizo has seen his average dip to .226, so he does have 12 home runs and 32 RBIs. Senrizo no hits in his last 21 at-bats. Struck out 9 times and grounded into 2 double plays over that stretch. Also struggling against Rancho this year, just batting .176 against the Quakes. Here's the first pitch from Jelena on the way, and that one's a fastball that misses low. The count now 1-0, and the Mavericks center fielder. Full night of action tonight in the Cal League. It's one of 5 games going on around the circuit as the 1-0 is skied out to center field. Playable ball moving to his left is Josh LeBlanc. He's now running in and makes a one-handed catch. 2 down. Elsewhere around the league, Lancaster going to be at San Jose. Bakersfield at Lake Elsinore. And Rancho at High Desert here in this game. Visalia at Stockton today, and Modesto over at Inland Empire against those new-look 66ers. Welcomed 6 new players to their team yesterday after clinching the first half title Tuesday evening against High Desert. First pitch on the way to Adam Donahue. That's a fastball. It misses outside, 1-0. Donahue, 270 average, 4 home runs, 18 RBIs on the year. And he comes in just 2 for his last 16. The 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike on the inside corner. Good placement by Jelena on that last offering. And the count now evened up at 1-1 as Brian McFall stands in on deck. Next pitch, same exact location, same result, and the count now 1-2. No score in this ball game. Bottom of the second inning. Nobody on base for the Mavericks. 2 out. The 1-2 pitch. Slider bounced to the left side. Takes 2 hops. Waiting for it is Rodriguez. The throw to first is low and bobbled at first by Cliff Remley. That will go as another error to Sean Rodriguez. And we've seen that so many times. Rodriguez just skipping the balls over to first base. And again, if you give Rancho Cucamonga enough opportunities, they're going to make errors out on the field. That's why the Mavericks cannot afford to strike out a lot this series. The more the Mavericks put the ball in play against this ball club, the better chance they're going to have of winning the series. That's High Desert's first base runner. We'll see if Brian McFall can make him pay here. Still on an extra base tear over the last month. First pitch he takes is a sinker for a strike. The count 0-1. McFall. Now extra base hits in 15 of his last 27 games. A grand slam 2 nights ago. The 0-1 pitch. Waved at and missed on the slider, and it's now 0-2. McFall batting .239 this year. 11 home runs, 41 RBI. Of those 41 RBIs, 14 have come over the last 10 games. Also 10 runs scored over his last 10. And he has played in all 10 of both teams' last 10 games, so and a lot of playing time. The next pitch is popped up on the infield to the right side. Backing up is Cliff Remley, and it's now going to be Nate Sutton who finally watches it into his glove. And that'll do it for the Mavericks in the second. Not much going. No runs, no hits. 1 error for the Quakes. 1 man left. We're now heading to the third inning. No score in this game. Mavericks, Quakes scoreless. Don't go anywhere, baseball fans. We'll be back after this.
Jepsen beats Wally to home plate. Jepsen will receive a prize courtesy of Coca-Cola. So a flag is up. Get set. Go! And away they go. It's Woolley on the early.
Welcome back, baseball fans. No score heading into the top of the third inning. Now, the Mavericks this year 11-7 against Rancho Cucamonga. But if you took a look at the numbers, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Number 22.
Mavericks against the Quakes this season batting just .265. Quakes against the Mavericks batting .300. Mavericks ERA against Rancho this year 5.62. Quakes ERA against the Mavericks 4.44. But the Mavericks come away with 11 out of the 18 victories handed out in the season series thus far. And this is already game number 19 between these two teams. The Mavericks don't even go back to the epicenter in the second half. That is an interesting schedule that's been put together. The first pitch to Ben Johnson misses low. The count now 1-0 on the Rancho DH. Johnson, a .241 average, 6 home runs, 26 RBIs, but he has good pop in his bat as he hits from the left side. The next pitch, check swing. That one misses low. And it's now 2 balls and no strikes on Ben Johnson. Billy Buckner is somebody that we're really waiting for that dominating outing. The 2-0 changeup in there, 2-1. Buckner has had plenty of starts where he goes 6 innings, 6.1, 6.2. Gives up 4, 5, 6 hits, run or 2. Next pitch is in there as well, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But he is still somebody that we're really waiting for that 8-inning, 10-strikeout outing. Much like we got from John Gregg last night as he threw over 110 pitches, struck out 11 66ers. Next pitch is a curveball in the dirt, and the count now 3-2 as Johnson laid off of that one. Buckner has been the Mavericks really one of the most consistent pitchers so far this season. And it's someone who always goes out and puts his team in position to win, but still feel like you're just missing a little something from it. Mavericks 12-3 when he starts a game this season. And High Desert supports him with 5.13 runs of offense. The 3-2 on the way. That one's fouled off of the ankle of Adam Donnie. Looks like he's okay. And the count stays full on Ben Johnson. It's going to be Johnson, Sutton, and LeBlanc this inning for the Quakes. The 8-9-1 batter. Mavericks have only lost 1 game to the Quakes this year when Buckner has started against them. And again, this is his 6th time starting against Rancho. 3-2. Right-hander rears back. The pitch is on its way. That's a changeup that misses upstairs. Ball 4. So Buckner today walks his first in the 3rd inning. Again, that's an area of concern for Buckner. He's tied for the 2nd most walks in the league. Nate Sutton, now the batter, he steps in with a .244 average, 2 home runs, 16 RBIs on the year, and he was their leadoff batter for a decent part of the season. He has since been moved back to the number 9 spot in the Rancho Cucamonga lineup. He comes in just 2 for his last 25. First pitch misses up and away on the fastball. The count now 1-0. That walk, Buckner's 44th of the season. Only Franklin Morales of Modesto, who's walked 46, is more. And he has a 6-walk game this year and 3 4-walk games. He also has a 10 strikeout game. That was against the Quakes back here on May 23rd. The 1-0 to Sutton misses outside, and the count now 2 balls and no strikes. Buckner started the season by going 6-0. Through the first couple months of the season, boy, everything was gravy. But he's begun to regress a little bit in June as the next pitch is taken for a strike, and the count now 2-1 on Sutton. Posted solid Aprils in May. 3.25 ERA April, 3.19 May. Then it shot up to 6.16 over his 4 June start. He's hoping to bring that down tonight. Throw to first base. Tag is applied but late. Coming back in time is Ben Johnson, who runs fairly well for someone who's listed as the catcher. Righty's actually hitting better against than against Buckner than lefties are. And the next pitch is lined off of the glove of Buckner, taken by Falu. He steps on the bag. The throw to first is high, and Rusty Brown can't come down on the bag. So that will go as the 1-6-3 forced out at second base. And that could have been a double play ball. Just Falu's throw failed just a bit high. Johnson retired at second.
Josh LeBlanc.
And that'll bring up Josh LeBlanc to the plate. LeBlanc 1 for 1, tagged a single into right field his first time up. That was Rancho's second hit of the game, or third hit. Excuse me. That was not a hit. That was a ground ball. Rancho does have 2 hits, one of which is by LeBlanc, but he swings and misses at a Buckner curveball. The count 0-1. LeBlanc has had trouble with those breaking pitches this year. And Buckner has been known to freeze him up several times. He struck out 3 times against Billy. Back in a game on April 11th at the Epicenter. The 0-1. Curveball. That one finds the outside corner. 0-2. Good looking backdoor breaking pitch. So Buckner hoping to stay out in front of Josh LeBlanc and keep the runner over at first. Sutton is there. He has pretty good speed. But now stole 8 bases and he's off running. Next pitch swung on and missed. The ball held on to, however, by Donahue as Sutton heads back to the dugout. So the runner steals second. Josh LeBlanc is retired via the K's. Cliff Remley steps up to the plate with a chance to try and bring in the first run of this ball game. Buckner's second strikeout of the game. Remley, meanwhile, bounced out to second base. That forced LeBlanc back in the first inning. Remley held on the base pass, however, and moved as far as third base back in the first inning. First pitch bounced foul. Now and above the Rancho Cucamonga dugout. And it's now 0-1 on the Rancho first baseman. Remley on the season with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, batting just .206. As a team, Quake batting .300 in these situations, though. The 0-1 on the way. Swung on and missed on the curveball. Remley went down and chased the pitch. It was down and in the dirt. And the count now is 0-2. Billy out of the University of South Carolina. It's a special time of the year for him. 2 years ago, right now, Billy was helping lead the Gamecocks to the College World Series in Omaha, Nebraska. 0-2. He throws another one of those curveballs in the dirt. There it is. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Not in the dirt. Buckner spins around as that pitch crosses the plate. And that'll do it for the Quakes here in the third inning. Buckner strikes out 2 for 3 total. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. Now heading to the bottom of the third inning. No score here in Adelanto. For the Mavericks, Tomlin, Lucas, Falu. Coming up right after this. Stay tuned. Welcome back, Mavericks fans. No score heading to the bottom of the third inning. Mavericks still looking for their first hit of the game. It's going to be Tomlin, Lucas, and Falu for the Mavericks here, the 8-9-1 batters. That was Tomlin and Lucas last night that did most of the damage offensively. First pitch of Tomlin, a changeup taken for a strike on the inside corner. The count now 0-1. Tomlin last night 3 for 4, a double, an RBI, 2 runs scored. Nothing in one pitch. Misses inside, 1-1. His RBI single with 2 outs last night. The top of the second inning. Allowed the Mavericks to get on the board and started a 3-run Maverick rally. As he drives one deep to left, that one, however, is trailing foul. And that one lands foul. About 15 feet or so, but that's no surprise. Tomlin really has looked excellent in batting practice. He's beginning to get his sea legs back once again. In other words, he's someone who can go through spring training and is just getting his feet wet here in this 2006 season as he drives one out to left field. However, playing deep is Pat Riley. He'll be there and makes the catch just in front of the warning track for the first out here in the bottom of the third inning. And Lucas stepping up, and he was the Aloha Liquidation Systems player of the game last night. No offense to John Gregg, who went 8 innings and struck out 11. But Lucas was the catalyst of the offense. 3 for 4, 2 doubles, a run scored, 3 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. Without those types of numbers, that's a whole different ball game last night in San Bernardino. The first pitch is a fastball, well located. Strike on the outside corner, no balls. And 1 strike on the Mavericks third baseman. Lucas batting .254 this year, 3 home runs, 29 RBIs. Showing his next pitch, a curveball, swung on and missed. And it's down no balls and 2 strikes. The Maverick infielder. High Desert wearing the home white jerseys with a red pinstripe. Red lettering, red trim, black hat. Next pitch, check swing on the slider. He went around. And that is strike 3. So 2 outs here for the Mavericks in the third inning. Jelena's now K2 of this game. Irving Falu standing in. Irving Falu. His likeness has been adorned on a player magnet. And thank you to Frontier Homes for sponsoring another player magnet night. But that next magnet night is going to be Irving Falu. Player magnet night as he shows bunt. Lays it down to the right side. Drag bunt kicked up on the chopper by Jelena. The underhand toss to first base is just in time. There's almost a collision with Falu running hard down the first base line, but he is out. So that's going to do it for the Mavericks in the third inning. They go 1-2-3 once again. Still no hits through 3 innings for High Desert. Heading into the fourth, no score. John Rosen, the voice of the Mavs, and I'll be back in a pinch.
National Little League men. In today's VIP Skyboxes, in Skybox 1, Springfield LLC and Lee & Associates. In Skybox 2, Home Loan Mortgage Corporation. In Skybox 3, LEI Toyota Honda Scion. In Skybox 4, Southern California Edison. In Skybox 5, the King family. Also at this time, we would like to extend an extra special happy 24th birthday to our concession stand manager.
Welcome back, High Desert Mavericks fans. Now heading into the top of the fourth inning, Freddy Sandoval going to lead it off for the Quakes. Sandoval will be followed by Michael Collins and Pat Riley. Mavericks fans, meanwhile, if you want to go check out some Mavericks video highlights you want to go to the Daily Press website, Terry Kurtz, the video journalist, has done an excellent job as the first pitch is fouled back. The count 0-1 on Sandoval. But Terry Kurtz has compiled some eclectic footage of the Mavericks, some interviews, some highlights. You're going to want to go check that out. And the next pitch is a curveball that bounces back against the screen. The count now 1-1. And that's www.vvdailypress.com. The Victor Valley Daily Press's website, where you can go catch the Mavericks Roundup, sponsored by Terry Kurtz. Next pitch, broken back, grounded to the right side. Gaffney scoops it up. An easy throw over to first, retires Sandoval. Looks like Sandoval tried to pull an outside pitch.
Yeah, baby.
So 1 out now for the Quakes here in the top of the fourth. That'll bring up Michael Collins. Collins 0 for 1. The runners at the corners in the first inning, grounded into a double play. Meanwhile, Billy Buckner has now thrown 44 pitches, as he has now retired 10 batters in this Rancho lineup, allowing just 2 hits. First pitch to Collins on the way is driven out towards the gap in left center. Going back to the ball is Tomlin. He's not going to get to that one. That one hops the wall, and it's going to be picked up by Tomlin at the base of the wall. By the time he gets it back into Falu, it's actually handled by Gaffney as the throw is high of the cutoff man. Standing at second base with a double is Michael Collins. He goes into the left field gap. Rancho has a runner at second base with 1 out, and Pat Riley stepping in. Riley 0 for 1 today, bounced out to first base on a chopper back in the second inning. Of his 5 home runs, 1 was a grand slam this year. It was struck against the Inland Empire 66er. Actually came in the top or the bottom of the 9th inning at the epicenter. Tied the game up. First pitch, curveball, swung on and missed 0-1. Meanwhile, some scores from around the league. San Jose 5, Lancaster 1. That's after 2 innings. Lake Elsinore 1, Bakersfield nothing after 2 as well. The 0-1 to Riley. Curveball bounced back foul again, and the count 0-2. By Saleo leading Stockton 1-0. That's after 2 innings up at Banner Island Ballpark. And after half an inning, Modesto and Inland Empire scoreless. Buckner sets. Donnie sets up inside. The changeup misses upstairs. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, looks like all Kansas City Royals minor league affiliates are active now. Idaho Falls season started 2 nights ago. Tonight is the start of the Arizona League Royals season. The 1-2 swung on and missed on the curveball. On the way to first base is Riley. The throw to first is in time. Holding at second is Michael Collins. That's Buckner's 4th strikeout. 2 outs now for the Quakes here in the 4th, and that brings up Sean Rodriguez. So first base is open. That gives Buckner an opportunity here to try and pitch around him. Not give him anything that good to hit. Would be surprised to see some of those curveballs in the dirt here in this at-bat. As Rodriguez has been known to go after some breaking stuff. That's how the Mavericks struck him out 4 times on Sunday afternoon. He struck out with a winning run, or I should say the tying run on third base in that game. First pitch, a curveball, misses low. And it's now 1-0 on the Quakes shortstop. On deck for Rancho is Drew Toussaint. It really hasn't been a walk in the park this season for High Desert pitching. So 1-0 to Rodriguez. Fastball swung on and missed, swung through it, and the count now 1-1. Around the major leagues, not a full slate of action today. The parent club of the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes is the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and they had a day off today. Next pitch swung on and missed. A good-looking bender. And it's now 1-2 on Rodriguez. Is Billy Buckner really going after him? Collins from second base. First base open. No score, top of the 4th. The count 1-2. Buckner has his sign. Towing time. Stepping out of the box is Sean Rodriguez. Rancho 28-14 when they score first in a game. Rodriguez with the base hit, hoping to come up with a hit here. The next pitch called, strike on the inside corner. That was a fastball. Rodriguez didn't like the call, but he has to head back to the dugout and back out onto the field. And a strikeout number 5 for Buckner. So the Quakes come up with a one-out double by Michael Collins, but nothing else. No runs, a hit, no errors, a man left. Now heading into the bottom of the 4th inning. Mavericks going to be sending up Gaffney, Sadolka, and Brown. They'll see what they can do right after this commercial break. Stay tuned. Welcome back, baseball fans. The count 0-1 on Mavericks second baseman Mike Gaffney. He took a strike on the outside corner. There's Carl Jelinek ready once again. The next offering. Bounce back foul, 0-2. The Angels, one of the teams in baseball that recruit heavily in French Canada. And they have 2 players from Quebec on their roster, Carl Jelinek and Michel Simard. Meanwhile, the 0-2 pitch. Misses upstairs. That was a fastball. It's now 1-2 on Gaffney, who bounced out to third base back in the 1st inning. No score. Mavericks looking for their first hit. The next pitch is whacked on the ground. That one's in between the shortstop and the third baseman. And that looked like a changeup that was high in the air. And Gaffney goes after the mistake and pounds it into left field for a single. It's only the Mavericks' second base runner in the game after Donahue reached on an error back in the 2nd. Meanwhile, Mike Sadolka now batting. He's 0 for his last 16. But now that he is back within the friendly confines, Maverick Stadium in Adelanto, hopefully he'll snap out of it and continue to provide the Mavericks with the offensive numbers that he did throughout the first 2 months of the season. Next pitch is hit on the hands, up in the air, racing back as Michael Collins reaches up, puts it away. Excellent speed by Collins to get to that one. And he didn't want to have to give Sadolka another chance. So Collins gets there in time. There's now 1 out for the Mavericks as Rusty Brown steps in.
Rusty Brown!
Brown 0 for 1, struck out swinging on 3 pitches back in the 2nd inning. Looked like he was having trouble with Jelenek's slider. We'll see if he can make the adjustments and lengthen this at bat here. Jelinek, meanwhile, out of Laval, Quebec. 6'4", 200 pounds. Went to Northeastern Oklahoma A&M. For the first base, not inside. Born back in 1983, Jelinek last year. Split time between Salt Lake and Cedar Rapids. First pitch, Brown swung on and missed. That was an off-speed pitch. It's now 0-1 on the Maverick first baseman. Jelinek last season, 11-8, a 3.81 ERA. The Cedar Rapids Colonel, low batters in the Midwest League, hit .294 off the righty. Runner holds, the 0-1 to Brown, taken low and inside, and the count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Jelinek also a call up to Salt Lake City in the AAA PCL League. And in 3 appearances, come up with a win and a 1.80 ERA up in AAA. Not only 1 run in 5 innings. So the first again is not in time. The count stays at a ball and a strike on Rusty Brown. Kansas City Royals made it 4 in a row today. They swept the Pittsburgh Pirates with a 15-7 victory at Kauffman Stadium. Royals' second sweep of the year. They swept Cleveland earlier in the season. The next pitch, called strike. Good-looking fastball in the outside corner. It's now 1-2. Scott Ellerton over Paul Mayholm in that game. John Buck, his 5th home run of the season. The Kansas City Royals. 1-2. Runners going. Pitch is line to the left side. That is a fair ball. Right into the corner in left field. Looks like Gaffney going to have an easy time scoring, but oh no, the ball goes underneath the fence, and Gaffney's going to be sent back to third. The ball looks like it skipped up and might have gotten caught underneath the chain-link fence down the left field line, so the Mavericks lose out on a break there. How that happened, we will not know, because that, again, is a part of the park that is invisible to our eyes up here. It's obscured by the Mavericks bullpen. About the 1% of the entire stadium you can't see from up here, so we're going to assume that one just bounced underneath the fence and under the grassy berm out by the third base side. The runners now at second and third. Juan Senrizo hoping to snap out of his slump here. The first pitch from Jelena is line to left side. Now that one's down the line once again. That'll score 2. As on his way to second base is Senrizo. 2 now across. Up with the ball in left is Riley. Senrizo stands in at second base, and the Mavericks strike first in this game. Senrizo picked a good time to snap out of his slump. Coming into that at bat, he was 0 for his last 22. But for Juan on the season, that is RBI 33 and RBI 34. 2-0 High Desert. Inning not over. Adam Donahue steps in.
Adam Donahue.
Donahue 0 for 1, reached on a throwing error by Sean Rodriguez back in the second inning. We'll probably see some more of those this series. First pitch for Donahue, slider. That one finds the outside corner. Jelena might be lucky that Donahue was not looking for that first pitch slider. That was one that was left out up and over the middle of the zone. No balls, 1 strike. Jelena looks back at second. Pickoff throw. The tag is applied, but just getting back safely is Juan Senrizo in a play that was actually pretty close over a second. Tag was applied by the second baseman, Nate Sutton. So on that double by Senrizo, it's Gaffney and Brown that come around to score. And here's Donahue hoping to bring home Senrizo. 0-1. Fastball. Chopper back to the mound, waiting for it is the pitcher to throw to first in time. So Jelena fields that one cleanly. And off balance, almost leaning back a bit. He throws a strike over to Remley over at first. And with a runner on third base now. And 2 outs, the batter is going to be Brian McFall. McFall 0 for 1. He popped out to second base back in the second inning. Yeah, and he has starts in each of his last 11 contacts. McFall really turning into a valuable power option on the Maverick lineup. One of the better number 7 hitters you'll see in this league. The first pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1. Of course, McFall needs to raise his average if he wants to work his way on up to higher levels in the system. But boy, some excellent power numbers for the right-hander. 0-1, changeup misses in, 1-1. McFall, 11 home runs, 41 RBIs. And he should come away with about 18 to 20 home runs this season for the Mavericks. Then again, see if he can go on a tear in the second half. The next pitch is grounded foul. Looks like he snapped his bat on that one. Well, back to get a new piece of lumber. Well, Mavericks fans, I have some bad news to report to you. But a former Burlington B pitcher, someone who spent the year last year in Burlington, was almost ready to come back up to High Desert this season. He was pitching in the independent league with the Pensacola Pelicans. His name was Rusty Begnaud. And after a game 2 nights ago, He was hanging out with some of his teammates and dove headfirst into a pool. And unfortunately, injured his vertebrae and was paralyzed from the waist down. So our thoughts and our prayers really out there for the Begnaud family. And he's on the minds of all these Mavericks players today as the next pitch misses away on Nick Paul. The count 2-2, but again, this is one of those days where baseball comes secondary. For everyone there in the red pinstripe really thinking of their teammates and hoping for a full recovery for Rusty, the popular player on that 05 Burlington team. Next pitch is bounced foul back against the screen, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brian McFall hoping to bring home Juan Senrizo from third base, 2-0 High Desert. And the 2-2 pitch is on the way, swung on and missed on the slider, and that's going to do it. The Mavericks here in the 4th inning. Mavericks come up with the first 2 runs of this ball game, however. Those 2 runs coming on 3 hits, 2 of which were doubles. With no errors and a runner left on third. Now heading into the 5th inning. 2-0 in favor of the Mavericks. Don't go anywhere. Toussaint, Johnson, Sutton. Coming up for the Quakes right after this. Be right back. Welcome back, Mavericks fans. Drew Toussaint leading it off for the Quakes. He takes the first pitch inside for a ball. The count now 1-0 on the Quakes right fielder. Buckner comes right back and swinging right through that pitch is Toussaint, and the count now evened up at 1. Drew 0 for 1 in this game today. Bounced out to shortstop back in the 2nd inning. Mavericks with 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th lead this game 2-0 as we now start the 5th inning. As the 1-1 is a curveball that misses in the dirt, goes back to the screen, and the count 2 balls and a strike. Mavericks have played the Quakes more than any other team in the league this year. The 2-1 hit off of his foot. Looks like Toussaint's okay. That one rolls foul in front of the Mavericks bench. And the count now evened up at 2. Mavericks in a stretch right now. They have 10 out of 13 games against Rancho Cucamonga, and they won all 7 they've faced off so far. The 2-2 ground ball, foul left side. That's a chopper, and it stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Buckner now up to 58 pitches on the evening. We're starting out the 5th inning here in Adelanto. Wind blowing gently out towards left center field. Wind shouldn't be a major factor throughout much of this game. 2-2. Hit on the line right back at Buckner. Had time to see that one into his glove. On a backspin on it, Buckner handles it on the line. And that'll retire Toussaint. 1 down now for the Quakes here in the 5th. And that'll bring up Ben Johnson to the plate. Johnson 0 for 1, drew a walk. And that was the only walk that Buckner had issued so far. And it looks like they're actually going to go to Baltazar Lopez here. Ben Johnson has been replaced in the lineup. Baltazar Lopez coming into pinch hit. Lopez, 261 average on the season. He has 1 home run, 9 RBIs. We'll try and figure out just exactly why Ben Johnson was taken out of this game. A lot of times when you see someone sub so early for not running out a ground ball, and that wasn't a factor because he walked. The next pitch is fouled back, and the count 0-1. Lopez 2 for 3 against the Mavericks on Sunday. The last 2 times these teams saw each other. And started off a Quake rally with a double as the next pitch is fouled back again. And the count now, no balls and 2 strikes on the Rancho Cucamonga pinch hitter. New York Mets won at home today. They beat Cincinnati 6-2 in a meeting of first place teams. Pedro Martinez over Eric Milton in that game. Corey Bradford at second save. Next pitch swung on and missed. That one in the dirt. Donahue tags out the batter. And Lopez, the pinch hitter, retired on the punch out.
Number 5.
That's a 6th strikeout from Buckner. Nate Sutton now stepping in. He's 0 for 1 today. Then a ground ball off of Buckner's glove, directed it to Falu. Falu steps on the first base for 1. The throw steps on second base for 1. The throw to first was not in time. Meanwhile, the first pitch is a curveball. It misses low and in. And the count 1 ball and no strikes on Nate Sutton. The next Buckner offering misses low and away, and the count now 2 balls and no strikes. Buckner heads back behind the mound, hoping to regain his command here. And so far it's been with him today, though the game's still early. 2-0 Mavericks, top of the 5th inning. As Billy back on top of the rubber, facing the batter, rears back. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And that's a chopper to the right side. Waiting for it on 2 outs is Gaffney. He has to leap up. The throw to first is not in time. And that goes as a hit. Gaffney really had to wait for that one to come back on the second hop. Would have been hard to charge that one and play it off of 1. Sutton runs extremely well down the line. And he is rewarded for his hustle with a base hit there on a pitch. It's really Mavericks got to be looking to get the final out of the inning there on that one. They can't turn it, so Josh LeBlanc steps in. LeBlanc so far today, 1 for 2. Struck out his last time against Buck. Donahue sets up inside. The first pitch taken for a strike. Snap throw down to first base, not in time. And they count no balls and 1 strike on Josh LeBlanc. Meanwhile, David Wright has a lot of games. David Wright, 2 more home runs for the Mets today. He now has 17. Runners going. The 0-1 misses low. The throw down to second base is off of the glove of Irving Falu, but it remains on the infield. And that will be a stolen base for Nate Sutton. So the Quakes have stolen twice on Donahue today. Meanwhile, for Sutton, stolen base number 9 on the year. That ties him for the second most on this Rancho team. Freddy Sandoval leads the team with 14 steals. One ball, 1 strike. Buckner comes home, and that pitch swung on and missed, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Josh LeBlanc. Buckner looking in, hoping to punch out the batter and leave the runner stranded at second base. The 1-2 pitch is on the way. The curveball can't connect with the outside corner. Trying a backdoor pitch. And it's now Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. LeBlanc, meanwhile, with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, is batting .474. 9 for 19 this year. The 2-2 swung on and missed the ball in the dirt. Donahue tags him out, and that'll do it for the Quakes in the 5th inning. Buckner has now struck out 7 through his 5 innings of work. K's 2 men in the 5th. The Quakes, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, a man left in scoring position. The Quakes have now stranded 4. We're heading into the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-0. Favor the Mavericks, still calling there. We'll be back after this. So moments ago, Welcome to the Jungle was played as Carl Jelena took the mound to start the bottom of the fifth inning. The first pitch to Tomlin is taken for a strike on the corner, 0-1. Usually, Welcome to the Jungle is played before a different French-Canadian goes out and takes the mound. Of course, Eric Gagne, that's really his theme song. Next pitch swung on and missed on the breaking pitch. And it's 0-2 on the Mavericks left fielder. 2-0 High Desert, bottom of the fifth inning. It's going to be Tomlin, Lucas, and Falu here in the fifth for High Desert. Next pitch is lined to the left side over the head of Freddy Sandoval out towards left field for a base hit. Tomlin rounds first, he'll head back there. And he got around on that one, made excellent contact, went after a two-strike pitch and hammered it.
Third baseman, number 25, Ed Lucas.
So Ed Lucas going to step up now for the Mavericks. Lucas 0 for 1 so far today. And he has been having a rough go in June, but he's had a very solid week. And even when he hasn't been getting hits, he's been getting on base by drawing walks. And he's upped his on-base percentage, too. Throw back to first base, and Tomlin dives back safely. On the year, Tomlin 0 for 2 in stealing bases. Of course, leading the team for the Mavericks, Irving Falu. He has 15. And Lucas, well, he has 10 himself. Runner holds. Lucas shows bunt, pulls back. The pitch misses high and away. And that's going to bring out Michael Collins out to the mound to have a word with Carl Jelena. Texas won at home today, beating San Diego 5-3. John Reinecker the win. Clay Hensley the loss. He saved to Akinora Atsuka, his 14th of the season. Texas scoring all 5 of their runs in the bottom of the fifth inning. Even though they were out-hit by San Diego 14-7. Hey, San Diego, it's called not leaving runners on base. Fake steal, the snap throw back down to first is not in time. And that pitch was taken for a strike by Lucas. As the count now evened up at 1-1. Right-hander set again, setting up outside as Collins. Runners going this time. The pitch is swung on and just getting a piece of it, fouling it back as Lucas. So Tomlin going to have to head back to first. Mavericks trying to work a hit and run here. We'll see if they keep that same sign going. As Jeff Carter flashes his instructions down by the third base coaching box. The count 1-2. Tomlin, excellent tools. And he is rediscovering that pop in his bat. After starting the season here for the last couple weeks, just really getting comfortable. Hurting his teammates and the pitchers in the league. Throw back to first base, not in time as Tomlin gets back safely. Minnesota won today at Houston, 4-2 the score in that one. Francisco Liriano the win. Roger Clemens the loss. He takes the loss in his debut in 2006. Joe Nathan the save. Justin Morneau, a home run. Jason Lane, a home run. Go back to first base again, and once again, Tomlin dives back safely. 2-0 High Desert, bottom of the fifth inning. Nobody out, runner on first for the Mavs. Setting up outside is Collins. The pitch misses upstairs on the off-speed pitch. And the count now evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mike McDougal, hard-throwing closer for the Kansas City Royals, made a rehab appearance last night. Throw to first base is low and close, but not in time. McDougal yesterday went 1 inning for the Omaha Royals in a game against the Iowa Cubs. Started the game. Walked the batter. He came around to score, and that was the only run in the game. Just a loss. Runner's going. Got a good jump. The pitch misses inside, goes all the way back to the screen. And Tomlin gets credit for the stolen base there. There will be no wild pitch. Gets credit for the stolen base for an excellent jump on the way to second. So Tomlin gets the steal. And that's his first as a High Desert Maverick. That pitch missed well inside. Almost got a piece of Ed Lucas's jersey. Well, the count's full. The The pitch from the right-hander coming home, and that's grounded sharply backhanded on a nice play by Sandoval at third. The throw to first in time. Oh, boy, got down to his knee and handled that ball that would send like a rocket out to third base. Meanwhile, Tomlin has no choice but to hold at second. Mavericks really getting around on some of these Jelena's offerings.
Irving Falu.
But Freddy Sandoval doesn't let that one by him. So 1 out now, runner at second base. Irving Falu, the batter. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Tried to reach on a bunt his last time up. It was unsuccessful and ended the inning. Jelena fielded it cleanly and threw it over to Remley for the final out. Setting up outside Collins. First pitch misses low, and the count 1-0. Tampa Bay won an afternoon game today against Arizona 4-1. Got Casimir the win. Edgar Gonzalez a loss. Brian Meadows is saved. Aubrey Huff, Johnny Estrada with home runs in that game. The 1-0 to Falu. That one's tapped foul back behind home plate, and the count now 1-1. Nobody warming up in the Rancho Cucamonga bullpen. Of course, there hasn't been much scoring in this game. We're still in the bottom of the fifth inning. And in case you're wondering, no, probably not going to see Joe Torres tonight. Torres, the ineffective Rancho Cucamonga reliever, he threw yesterday. Next pitch is grounded to the right side. Fielded it by Remley on the backhand. The flip to the pitcher covering. No, he dropped the ball. Carl Jelena dropped the toss from the first baseman, Cliff Remley. And safe at first base is going to be Irving Falu. That's an error on Jelena. Just dropped the underhand toss. And again, that's the theme of the game today. And whenever you play the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, just put the ball in play. And they will make mistakes down in the field. The runners at the corners now with 1 out. That's the Quakes' second error of the game. And you can tell that they haven't improved with the defense since the last time these two teams met. That was Sunday afternoon. Mike Gaffney. I'm going to come up with an RBI here. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Takes a third, look at first, and nobody was fooled. Oh, Mike Gaffney. Got to be thrilled about those first-place New York Mets. A team that looks awfully strong. And definitely postseason bound. Throw to first base, not in time. Wasn't Jelena's number 1 move, though. Nothing high desert. Gaffney hoping to widen that lead here. Another throw to first base. And again, getting back in time is Irving Falu. Speed on the base paths for the Mavericks. Just about when any Maverick is on base, you know there's going to be speed. High desert is probably the best team speed out of any club in the entire California League. Next pitch is fouled back. The count 0-1 on Gaffney. That was a fastball, probably a cut fastball. It was trailing away from the right-handed batter. And Gaffney just got a piece of it, hitting it back against the screen. Middle infielders at double play depth. Remley holding on Falu over at first. Outfield actually playing fairly deep. The next throw is a toss back to first base. And diving back in time, Irving Falu. Another Thirsty Thursday tonight here in Adelanto. Mr. V's and Suitors of Barstow presenting dollar beers through the end of the 7th inning. Again, all Thursdays, all season long. Dollar beer night. Look back to first base, and getting back without a throw is Falu. Jelena very preoccupied with the Mavericks runners on the base path. He should be more concerned about getting the runner, or the batter here, I should say. 0-1, runners going. The pitch is fouled back against the screen, and it's now 0-2 on Mike Gaffney. Take a look at some Cal League scores in just a moment. Not as much scoreboard watching as we're now in the second half of the season. Just 3 games under each of these teams' belts. Mavericks 1-2 in the second half, as are the Quakes. You just want to start getting a picture of who the Mavericks are going to be facing off against down in that stretch run here. Mavericks, boy, they helped out their playoff chances with that 9-game winning streak. Next pitch misses low and inside on Gaffney. And the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. San Jose still 5-1 over Lancaster, now after 4 innings up in San Jose. 2-1, Bakersfield leads Lake Elsinore. That's after 3.5 down at the Diamond of Lake Elsinore. Visalia leading Stockton 3-2. That's after 3.5. Up at Banner Island Ballpark. Takes a third, look at first. And Jelena really trying to trick these runners and trying to take an extra base. Inland Empire leading Modesto 1-0 after 2 innings. 1-2 to Gaffney is popped up on the infield. Backing up is Remley. Will he be there? No, it's going to be the second baseman, Nate Sutton, who makes the catch behind the first base bag. So Gaffney pops down, and we'll see if Mike Sidolka can come up with a base hit here and bring in a run.
Number 13, the double player of the game, Mike Sidolka.
Sidolka, 0 for 2 so far today, popped out foul his last time up. There was a ball handled by catcher Michael Collins on a nice play, running and picking that one off behind the Maverick on deck circle. Diaz Sidolka to make the adjustment here, though. He's been slumping mightily here in the month of June. His average now down to 281. He is a California League All-Star and well-deserving. Boy, the first half that this youngster had. Next pitch misses low and away, and the count of ball and no strikes, and the Mavericks' designated hitter. Jelena set again, setting up inside. The catcher Collins, the pitch is on the way, and that misses low and inside. Now 2-0 on Sidolka. There's Rusty Brown with a donut on his bat, starting to get loose in the on-deck circle. Falu from first, Tomlin from third. The 2-0 to Stoley is taken low, and the count now 3 balls and no strikes. There's Carl Jelena. Just an errant pitch away from loading the bases against Maverick power threat and Rusty Brown. Jelena set, he comes home, and that pitch is lined out towards left field. That one trailing foul, however. Sidolka tried to go the opposite way, and he was waiting for a 3-0 fastball. It looked like that pitch was a fastball, had some sink to it. And Sidolka fouls it off to the left side. So 3-1 now. 2-0 High Desert, 2 outs, runners at the corner. Bottom of the 5th inning. The 3-1 on the way. Now it's fouled back against the screen. The count now pushed to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Meanwhile, Sidolka for High Desert with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Just 6 for 30 this year, 7 RBIs. Does have 1 home run in these situations. Jelena looks in. Setting up inside Collins. The pitch on the way, and that one's grounded foul down the right field line. Sidolka went after ball 4. But not his fault. That was really a cutter that the right-hander threw. Broke in on the left-handed batter. By the time he swung the bat, that pitch was well inside. But still, 2 strikes, you have to protect the plate. And Sidolka is still alive. 3-2. Again, Collins inside. Again, the runner going. The pitch misses just off the corner of the plate. That's ball 4. On his way to second is Falu. Sidolka over to first, and the base is loaded with 2 outs for Rusty Brown.
Number 17.
That was Jelena's first walk of the game. Mavericks have grand slams in 2 different games this week. One was by Falu. One was by Rusty Brown. One was by Brian McFall. Mavericks with one against the Quakes in the last home game against Rancho. That was back on June 15th. And then 2 nights ago, Tuesday night's game, that was Brian McFall. Last year, the Mavericks had 4 of them. And 4 the year before that as well. First pitch swung on and missed on the curveball. And the count now 0-1. Brown 1 for 2 in this game. Struck out swinging back in the second. Then doubled into left field in the 4th. That was a ground rule double. The 0-1 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed on another curveball. It's now 0-2 on Rusty Brown. Mavericks have grand slams against Rancho Cucamonga in 4 out of the last 5 years. And 7 out of the last 9 years. Pitch on the way. The curveball misses low and outside. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Mavericks first baseman. Mavericks have a chance to break the game open here. They don't want to waste this opportunity. Might not see the bases loaded again this game. The 1-2 to Rusty on the way, and that one's popped up to the right side. That's going to stay in the field of play in foul territory. Cliff Remley reaches up, puts it away, and that'll do it for the Mavericks in the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 3 men left. We're now heading into the 6th. Still 2-0 high desert. Don't go anywhere, Mavericks fans. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Welcome back, High Desert baseball fans. 2-0 Mavericks. Now heading into the 6th inning. As dusk slowly turning into night here at 8:30 p.m. And of course, here we are on the second longest day of the year. It is June 22nd. What a better time than to spend it at the ballpark here. Just excellent weather here for baseball. We have some exciting promotions this weekend. Tomorrow night, Family Feast Night, as well as Irving Falu Player Magnet Giveaway. That's going to be sponsored by Aloha Liquidation Systems and Frontier Homes. Of course, June 24th, that is Saturday night. It's a fireworks night sponsored by Coca-Cola. Mavericks actually have 3 fireworks nights on hand before July 8th. Billy Buckner has thrown 70 pitches through 5 innings. And is now working to Cliff Remley, the number 2 Quakes batter. Remley will be followed by Sandoval and Collins here at the top of the 6th inning. Buckner's first pitch to Remley. Line to the right side and went down and got that pitch. It's lined into right field for a single. And looked like a pretty good curveball from Buckner. Located on the inside lower part of the plate. And Remley just went down and got it. So runner on first. Nobody out, and that'll bring up Freddy Sandoval. Sandoval 1 for 2 today. That single was back in the 1st inning. He also bounced out to second base in the 4th. Open stands from the left side, Mavericks middle infielders looking at turn 2. Lucas at third base, playing close to the grass. Brown holding on the runner at first. First pitch misses low and away. It's now 1 ball and no strikes on the Rancho Cucamonga third baseman. No runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Quakes, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Mavericks. And the next pitch is taken for a ball just low and away, and the count now 2-0. Sandoval, switch hitter, but a much stronger hitter from the left side. Much more comfortable from the left. The 2-0 misses low and away, and Buckner now behind 3 balls and no strikes on Freddy Sandoval. It's just as the Mavericks were patient, trying to put the ball in play, letting the Quakes make errors. Well, the Quakes patient at the plate. And they think sooner or later Buckner will walk a couple batters. The 3-0 strike on the outside corner. It's now 3-1 on Sandoval. Freddy, no doubt, excited that Los Tricolores, the Mexican national soccer team, advanced into the second round of the World Cup. Runner going, the pitch misses low, that's ball 4. And now runners at first and second with nobody out for the Quakes here at the top of the 6th inning.
Michael Collins.
Brings up cleanup hitter Michael Collins to the plate. Collins doubled into left center field his last time up against Buckner. So 1 for 2 today after bouncing out into a double play with runners at the corners and 1 out at the first. Boy, the Quakes would love to have that opportunity back. Collins up there from the right side. Buckner working from the stretch. His first pitch is on the way. That's a curveball in there for a strike to the count 0-1. You see Buckner get right back there and start throwing strikes again. Expecting Collins to lay out for that one after Sandoval had walked on 5 pitches. Well, Buckner comes back out and pounds the strike zone. A good-looking curveball down low. And 0-1. Another curveball. That one fouled back over the screen. And it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Michael Collins. That's such a plus. When you have a pitcher that really can record strikeouts like Buckner can. Well, it's a little bit easier to work out of a rally. There'll be more opportunities to punch out the batter without having the runners move. Buckner looking for a punch out right here. No balls, 2 strikes on Michael Collins. Open stance from the right side. Billy comes home, and that one's fouled back again against the screen. Looks like that was a changeup that Buckner came home with. Collins wasn't fazed by it, so the count stays at 0-2. Well, the White Sox came up with 13 runs yesterday in beating the Cardinals. Well, today, all they needed was 1. A 1-0 shutout. White Sox had an excellent outing by Freddy Garcia. He beat Al Reyes. Bobby Jenks, his 21st save. Jim Thome, his 24th home run of the season. 0-2 is fouled off to the right side. That one hit a long way. That came on a fastball. And the count stays at no balls and 2 strikes. Jim Thome, 24 home runs. Comeback player of the year? Well, either he or Nomar Garciaparra. Oh, 2. Buckner is set. Looks back at second base. He comes home. That pitch is swung on and missed on the curveball. That's exactly what we're talking about. It's strikeout number 8 for Buckner. Buckner able to really retire a lot of batters via the K, and that'll keep the runners stationed on the base path without giving them a chance to move up. Pat Riley now the batter. Riley so far 0 for 2. Struck out his last time up against Buckner. Meanwhile, the Maverick middle infielders looking to turn 2. Mavericks have actually turned the most double plays in the California League. Mavericks have now turned 85 on the season. Mavericks just exceptionally strong up the middle. And that's the heart of their defense. First pitch to Riley, a changeup, misses high and away, and the count 1-0. The Mavericks shortstop Irving Falu leading the league in fielding percentage among shortstops. And really, he doesn't let off at all. Always his head is in the game, always his focus. Gets to everything. Seems hit within a 10-mile radius of him. Timeout was called by Riley. He stepped out of the box. 1-0 is lined out towards right center field. Going back to the ball, Senrizo has a long way to cover. He's not going to get there. That one bounces up against the wall. 1 run home. Being waved home. Here comes Sandoval. The relay throw in from Irving Falu is actually going to be held on to. That's a 2-run double by Pat Riley. And we're all squared away at 2 here in the top of the 6th inning.
Shortstop, number 3, Sean Rodriguez.
So Buckner put the first 2 batters on board. It was Remley with a single on the first pitch he saw. And then Sandoval walked on 5 pitches. They both score on Pat Riley's double into the the left center field gap. And for Riley, those were RBIs, 25 and 26 on the season. We have a tie ball game. Sean Rodriguez 0 for 2 so far. Struck out swinging in the second, got caught looking in the fourth. Still, though, he's batting .362 with 6 home runs and 15 RBIs this year against Maverick pitching. First pitch from Billy. That's a fastball taken inside, 1-0. Rodriguez, 4 home runs over his last 10 games played. And Buckner hoping to keep him off the score sheet here. The 1-0 pitch. That one's a 2-seam fastball in there, and the count now 1-1 as Drew Toussaint stands in on deck. Wind blowing very slightly out to left center field, but the flag almost limped down the almost center field wall. 1-1, hit off the hands of the bat to the right side. That's a foul ball. And even when you're wearing the batting gloves, that one still probably swings. Looked like that one broke the bat. So Rodriguez is going to go head back to the dugout. Toronto won today. They beat Atlanta 3-2. Taylor Taubenheim the win. Mike Remlinger the loss. Saved B.J. Ryan his 20th. As Toronto really creeping up there in the AL East standing. Really a dark horse. That AL East division. I'm sure they are reading the headlines of the New York Post, depicting the demise of the New York Yankees, and the fans in Toronto, Canada, laughing all the way to the bank. Rodriguez, a new bat. He now steps back up there from the right side. Right-handed batter. Rodriguez, his hands up at about head level. The next pitch is chopped foul. It looks like he topped that one off of his foot. That ball bounces out of the field of play. McCown now 1 ball and 2 strikes. On the Quakes shortstop. Back to second base goes Pat Riley. Quakes with 2 hits this inning. They also have a walk from Sandoval. Collins struck out swinging. It made a good effort out of it. Fouled off a couple pitches before he was retired. So Buckner looks back in. Donnie sets up on the outside corner. The pitch is chopped to the left side. Leaping up and getting that one is Lucas. The hard throw to first is in time. Well played by Ed. Waited for that one into his glove. And the runner at second base, Riley, really had no choice but to head back to the bag. Rodriguez now 0 for 3. And that's going to bring up Drew Toussaint to the plate. Toussaint 0 for 2 so far today. Bounced out to shortstop in the second inning. Also lined back to the pitcher. And a comebacker back in the fifth. 2-2. Mavericks and the Quakes squared away. Runner on second base, Pat Riley. Going to be picked up by Toussaint, who has saved his best baseball of the year against Maverick pitching. Comebacker under the glove of Buckner. However, Gaffney's going to be there behind the mound. The throw to first in time. That one goes 1-4-5. It glanced off of Buckner's glove. And that's going to do it for the Quakes to the top of the sixth. However, Rancho comes up with 2 runs. Those 2 runs coming on 2 hits. No errors and a man left on base. Now heading into the bottom of the sixth. The score all knotted away at 2. Coming up for the Mavericks, Enrico, Donahue, McFall right after this. Welcome back, Mavericks fans. Time for a pitching change here, sponsored by Titan Insurance. Carl Jelena, a solid outing for the Quakes today. He goes 5 innings. Jelena gives up 4 hits, 2 runs. They were earned. And he strikes out 3 batters. As for the walk column, only 1 tally there. He gives way to Aaron Pullen, who's making his first appearance in the Cal League this year. He's facing Juan Senrizo. The first pitch is a fastball, taken low and away, and the count 1-0. Pullen coming down from Double-A. He had been suiting up for the Double-A Arkansas Travelers in the Texas League as he comes with a 1-0. That one swung on and missed on the slider. The count now 1-1. This is actually Cruz on the mound. Looks like we had a mistake from the PA system. So on the mound is Cruz. One more moment, please. The next pitch swung on and missed on a fastball. And the count now 1-2. So this is Rafael Cruz Chavez on the mound. And he too is making his first appearance of the season. Rafael Cruz Chavez facing off against Juan Senrizo here. Chavez comes home. The next pitch swung on and missed on the slider. And that'll retire Senrizo. So 1 out here for the Mavericks in the 6th. That'll bring up Donahue to the plate.
Number 16, Adam Donahue.
Chavez out of Veracruz, Mexico. Spent time last year with Boca Orem Owls and the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Long 12 innings for Rancho last year, posting a 3.75 ERA. First pitch to Adam Donahue is taken low, and the count of ball and no strikes. Chavez will turn 21 later this summer. Youngster was not drafted, signed as a free agent back in 2002. The next pitch is bounced up the middle off the mound into center field, and that'll be a single off the bat of Adam Donahue. So runner on first base with 1 out, and that'll bring up Brian McFawn to the plate. Brian is 0 for 2 thus far. But always a threat to change the score with 1 swing of the bat. Chavez, consistent season last year in 12 innings, of course, at 3.75 ERA for Rancho. 38 in the 3rd innings, a 3.76 ERA for Orem. Struck out 26 batters in those 38 innings. He is set at the belt. The first pitch is fouled back here off of the window. That one ricocheted off of the catcher, Michael Collins' mask. That one bounces up off of the window here in the front of the press box. And you rarely see those here at this ballpark, but it's good to know that these are shatterproof windows above us. Otherwise, Rob Sinclair in the booth next door might have been cleaning up some glass, because I sure as heck wouldn't have been. The 0-1. There's a fastball. It just misses off the corner. Count now evened up at a ball and a strike. Almost got a shade of Arrowhead Credit Union Park. Stadium where the press box, you really have to dive out of the way. Every game there will be foul balls up into the press level. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball. That one misses off the corner, and it's now 2-1. 2-2 tie, bottom of the 6th inning. Game has slowed down just a little bit since a very fast pace joined the first 4 innings. Throw to first, not in time. Florida won at Baltimore today in 10 innings, 8-5. Messenger of the wing, Williams the loss. Joe Borowski is 13 save. And the Marlins needed 4 at the top of the 9th just to tie the game. They've been trailing 5-1. The 2-1 to McFall. Misses upstairs on the fastball. It's now 3 balls on a strike to the Maverick right fielder. Meanwhile, home runs for Florida, Joe Borchard, Wes Helm. For Baltimore, Ramon Hernandez with 2 of them. Ramon Hernandez, quietly one of the most consistent catchers in the major league. You can always expect that average to be around 270. About 10 to 15 home runs a year. Might even exceed that this year. The next pitch is popped out to right field. Coming out of the ball is Toussaint. He has the play and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. And that's going to bring up James Tomlin to the plate.
Left fielder, number 2, James Tomlin.
1 for 2 is Tomlin, but he has been hitting the ball hard. His time's up. Just missed out on a home run down the left field line back in the 5th inning. Also stole a base in that 5th. As catcher Michael Collins went out to the mound to have a word with Chavez. Chavez, like Jelena, so new to this team that their names haven't even been sewn onto the back of their jerseys. Meanwhile, the Quakes, one of the few teams in this league, and you can read the back of their jerseys and find out who the players are without having to look at a scorecard. First pitch to Tomlin. Check swing. That one goes for a strike. A hard, low fastball. And the count now is 0-1. Donahue from first. 2 outs, 2-2 tie, bottom of the 6th. The 0-1 pitch to Tomlin, a hanging curveball with that one into the strike zone. And the count 0-2. Tomlin was frozen up by that pitch. So we'll see what he can do here with a count of no balls and 2 strikes. Donahue leads from first. Chavez is set. The 0-2 on the way is popped foul to the right side, out of play. And the count stays and no balls and 2 strikes. In the lone game in the major league still going on, the Los Angeles Dodgers have rallied for a 3-2 lead over the Seattle Mariners. That's now in the bottom of the 6th inning. Dodgers about to send Rafael Furcal up to the plate. With runners at the corners and 2 outs. 0-2. The pitch to Tomlin is popped up on the infield in between the pitcher and the catcher. Collins calls for it, but it's going to be the third baseman Sandoval who makes a 2-handed catch for the final out of the inning. So for the Mavericks in the 6th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, a man left. Heading into the 7th, 2-2 tie. We'll see what the Mavericks can do defensively right after this. Welcome back, Kaiser baseball fans. Mavericks came up with 2 in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Quakes with 2 in the top of the 6th. We're all squared off as we head into the final 3 innings of regulation play here in Rancho, California. Billy Buckner has thrown 90 pitches so far. He remains on the mound and is going to face Baltazar Lopez, Nate Sutton, and Josh LeBlanc.
Baltazar Lopez.
Meanwhile, the Mavericks look like they're about to send a reliever to get loose, but it looks like Patrick Hicklin now is sitting back down again. And actually playing pepper with somebody sitting down in the Maverick bullpen. Meanwhile, the first Buckner pitch on the way, and that one's a curveball that misses low and inside on Lopez. The count 1-0. Lopez struck out swinging while pinch hitting for Ben Johnson back at the top of the 5th inning. Next pitch, another curveball. Now one misses low again, 2-0. This is going to be a big pitch from Buckner. Did not fall behind the hitters, 3-0. To start out an inning in a tied ball game this late in the game. Big pitch coming up, the 2-0. Now it is taken for a strike on the outside corner. And that pitch, borderline probably. That was right there on the corner. Hitter wasn't going to go after it. The 2-1 misses low, though. Curveball misses, and it's now 3 balls and a strike on Baltazar Lopez. Remember, they say the leadoff walk scores 65% of the time. And, well, Buckner hoping to retire the batter so he doesn't have to worry about that number. Next pitch, taken just off the corner. The ball gets away from Donahue. However, Lopez just trotting down to first base. Ball ended up back down by the Quakes on deck circle. But that is a leadoff walk by Baltazar Lopez.
Number 5. Hey, cut.
And again, Billy Buckner cannot go an outing, giving up less than 3 walks. That'll bring up Nate Sutton, 1 for 2 so far today. He's hitting from the left side. Mavericks middle infielders looking to turn 2. Go to first base, not in time. Another throw back to first is not in time as well. Meanwhile, Adam Rowe starting to get loose for High Desert over the bullpen. 2-2 tie, top of the 7th inning. Runner on first for the Quakes. Baltazar Lopez, no disrespect to him, but with some of the other hitters they have on this lineup, that's who they wanted to go after. The next pitch misses low and away. Sutton tried to show bunt, but pulled back with a pitch miss. So the count now 1-0. Lopez takes his lead from first. As the Buckner offering is fouled off to the left side by Sutton. And the count now evened up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mavericks finished with a 39-31 first half. And that was an identical record to the Mavericks' second half of 2005. Consecutive halves with 39-31 records. Well, that'll get you towards the playoffs. Go to first base, not in time. Even though the Mavericks did not win the first half title, they still did themselves a good service, put them into position to compete for either the second half title or the wild card. The 1-1 showing bunt again and pulling back is Sutton. That pitch misses high and away, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike to the Rancho second baseman. With lefties coming up in LeBlanc and Remily. And Sandoval, the switch hitter after that. Wouldn't be surprised to see Adam Rowe come in momentarily. Next pitch misses low and away. Buckner cannot throw a strike even when Sutton laying around a bunt. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike now. So Billy stepped off the rubber, now wiping some sweat for his brow. And he is back out there, looking in, trying to come up with a more accurate pitch. Runner's going. The 3-1 is lined to the right side past the diving Mike Gaffney. On his way to third base is Baltazar Lopez. And boy, that was a line shot up the middle. Single from Sutton puts runners at the corners with nobody out. And the Quakes here on the verge of taking their first lead in this ball game as Josh LeBlanc steps up.
Center fielder, number 17, Josh LeBlanc.
So Mavericks have a decision to make. Are they going to bring the infield in? It certainly looks like they are. Is Billy Buckner going to stay in this game? Well, as of right now, yeah, it looks like he is. No coach on the top of the steps yet for the Mavericks. Meanwhile, manager Jeff Carter trying to point his infielders exactly where he wants them to stand. Buckner against LeBlanc. And the infield now back. Mavericks hoping to turn 2 in this play. The third baseman, Ed Lucas, playing in close to the grass. Runners going. Pitches bounce foul to the right side. Was a bit surprised to see the Quakes trying to pull off a double steal in that situation. As Billy once again gets his sign from Adam Donahue. Right-hander set again in the 0-1. Curveball taken for a strike on the outside corner. The count now 0-2. Good-looking backdoor piece there. And this is a big out for Buck. He needs to get LeBlanc. Otherwise, runs the risk of turning this into a big inning for Rancho. The 0-2. Curveball swung on and missed. That's strike 3. And the first out here, the top of the 7th inning. Meanwhile, Jeff Carter coming out of the dugout, and, well, that might be the end for right-hander Billy Buckner. Carter walking towards the mound. Adam Rowe had been getting loose with a lefty up with a switch hitter on deck. Don't be surprised to see the Mavericks go to the submarine southpaw. Well, Carter kicking some dirt around on the mound, talking to Buck, has made no indication yet of what his plans are for the pitcher. Ed Lucas and Rusty Brown, the only two Mavericks not joining the discussion on the mound. Now here comes Ed Lucas. Meanwhile, home plate umpire Brad Lawhead tries to shake things up. Carter now goes back to the dugout, so Billy Buckner remaining in this game. Then he has to go to work against Remley, who led off the 6th inning with a line single to the right side. And that kick started a 2-run rally for the Quakes in the 6th. Mavs looking to turn 2 here. Lopez from third. Sutton over at first. 2-2 tie, top of the 7th inning. Buckner taking a little too long to get his side, so time was called. As Remley now stepped down to the box. 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Quakes. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Mavericks. Mavericks want to keep this game tied heading into the later innings. They're back to first, not in time. As we've seen many times, the Mavericks come away with victories in games that were tied heading into the bottom of the 9th inning. Mavericks a very good team at home in close ball games. The next Buckner offering a curveball. That one finds a strike zone. A lot of bite to that pitch. Remley didn't like the call. He's having a word with the umpire. The count now 0-1 with Quakes first baseman. Billy. Set once again. The 0-1 is lined out to right field. Long run for Brian McFall. He's going to get there. Reaches up, puts it away. However, tagging up from third base is Baltazar Lopez. A throw home cut off. And that's a sacrifice fly to the right side by Cliff Remley. And that gives the Quakes their first lead of this series. It's 3-2 here at the top of the 7th. The Remley productive night at the plate. For Cliff, that was RBI number 23 on the season. As Freddy Sandoval now steps in. Sandoval 1 for 2 in this game. Drew a walk and scored in the 6th inning. Meanwhile, the only base runner is Nate Sutton over at first base. Buckner trying to go 7 strong for the Mavs. First pitch is a pitch out. Gun back to first base, however, is Nate Sutton. Walks will kill you. Buckner has walked 3, and 2 of those runners came across to score. Leading off from first, Nate Sutton, an average lead. Next pitch fouled back against the screen. It's now 1-1 on Sandoval. Johnson has tied it up at home against Visalia. Now a 4-4 tie. Inland Empire still leading Modesto 1-0 after 3.5. Lake Elsinore 4, Bakersfield 3. That's now in the 6th. And San Jose all over Lancaster 8-1 in the 6th as well. Next pitch swung on and missed on the curveball. And the count now a ball and 2 strikes on Freddy Sandoval. Buckner has struck out 9 today. And after Gragg struck out 11 last night in the 6-2 victory over Inland Empire. Buckner hoping for double digits in Ks as well. Throw back to first base, and diving back in time is Nate Sutton. Both teams here looking to win their second game of the second half. They both came in 1-2 in the second half thus far. Runner's going, the 1-2. Misses upstairs, runner back to first base. He faked towards second. And Sandoval laid off of a floater up in the zone. So the count evened up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now a right-hander starting to get loose. Looks like it's Justin Barnes warming up in the pen. Runners going again. Pitch misses outside. The throw to second. Tag applied. No, not in time. Safe at second base. Sutton with a stolen base. That was a good call by the umpire. Mavericks fans don't like the call. That wasn't really an excellent throw. I mean, it wasn't a great pitch for Donnie really to be looking to get the out at second base. Pitch missed well outside. And Donnie, it took that extra second to get the ball from the glove to the throwing hand. And that allowed Sutton just that extra time to get to second. Next pitch misses low. That's ball 4. Buckner walks another. And that'll bring up Michael Collins to the plate.
Catcher, number 18, Michael Collins.
Second walk by Buckner this inning. Third in the last 2 innings. But Barnes just started getting loose for High Desert over in the bullpen. So we expect Buckner to stay in and try to work out of this jam here. 3-2 Rancho Cucamonga. Top of the 7th inning. 2 outs, runners at first and second. Setting up inside Donnie. Buckner's first pitch hits him. That hit Michael Collins. That's another one where he just leans into the pitch, does nothing to try and get away from it. That was an inside pitch, but one that he did not need to be hit by. And if he keeps doing that this year, then the Mavericks are actually going to give him something that he's going to have to wear.
Left fielder, number 13.
Meanwhile, the base is now loaded as Pat Riley steps in. Again, Buckner working better against the lefties and the righties. Looks like he's, Donnie coming out to visit Buckner on the mound, so that might just be some extra time. Trying to get the Mavericks relievers warmed up. Rowe is back getting loose once again. So once Donnie heads back behind home plate, we won't be surprised to see manager Jeff Carter come out of the dugout and point to the bullpen. But Michael Collins hit by a pitch. Buckner labors in the 6th and 7th innings. The bases are loaded for Rancho here. Meanwhile, home plate umpire Brad Lawhead shaking things up. Tells Donnie to get back behind home plate. And he is walking very slowly back towards the plate. There's Buckner. Now back on top of the rubber, and here comes Jeff Carter. And that'll do it for the right-hander. So we're going to take time out for a pitching change here, sponsored by Titan Insurance. Don't go anywhere, Mavericks fans. Bases loaded for the Quakes. We'll see if Adam Rowe can work out of it. We'll be right back after this. So Adam Rowe now summoned to try and get the left fielder, left-handed batter Pat Riley. 1 for 3 with a double in this game.
Adam Rowe.
Replaces Billy Buckner, went 6 2/3 innings, gave up 7 hits, 3 runs they were earned.
Number 13.
Buckner walked 4, hit a batter, struck out 9. And once again, we're still waiting for that Billy Buckner dominating 8-inning outing. It has not yet come this year, though he has really reached high in the case. 9 more tonight. Meanwhile, Adam Rowe trying to strand all three runners on the base paths. The first pitch to Riley is taken for a strike, and the count 0-1. In the last 5 games, the Mavericks have allowed only 1 of 15 inherited runners to score. And overall in the year, 40.5% of inherited runners have scored against the Mavericks pitching. That number looking to come down a bit as the next pitch, a curveball. And went in there for a strike, and it's quickly 0-2 on Pat Riley. Sutton from third, Sandoval from second, Collins from first. Billy Buckner threw 112 pitches in this game and tired over the last 2 frames. Walked 2 batters, hit a batter here in the 7th. So Rowe hoping to come and get the job done here in the top of the inning. The 2-strike pitch is a curveball that misses up and in. And it's now 1-2. Rowe on the season has inherited 11 runners, and 5 of them have scored. Lefty set again, and the 1-2 and on the way, swung on and missed, and Rowe comes in, does his job. He strikes out Pat Riley with the bases loaded, and that keeps the Mavericks down by 1. So you can close the book on Buckner, 6 2/3, gives up 3 runs, and Adam Rowe a big strikeout. We're now heading to the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch here in Adelanto. 3-2 Quakes, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back, Mavericks fans. Mavericks find themselves trailing for the first time this ball game. We start the bottom of the 7th inning with Ed Lucas leading it off. Lucas 0 for 2 so far. He's called upon to face Rafael Cruz Chavez through a scoreless 6th inning. The inside Ezra giving up 1 hit. First pitch to Lucas, driven out towards right center, backing up on the ball to Son. He should be there. And he makes the one-handed grab on the first pitch. The first out of the inning. 1 down, and that brings the top of the order back up to the plate for the Mavericks. Irving Falu, the batter, is 0 for 3. And again, the Mavericks just have to keep putting the ball in play. Then some hard-hit balls on the line. Make the fielders work for the plays, and eventually Rancho Cucamonga will crack. Not a good defensive team. First pitch on the way to Falu. He shows bunt, pulls back. And the pitch is taken inside, now 1-0. 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Quakes. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Mavericks. From the windup, Chavez again showing bunt, pulling back again is Fowler. The pitch misses upstairs, and it's now 2-0. Chavez called up today, coming up from the Cedar Rapids Colonel. Going down to Cedar Rapids, Dan Hawkins. Next pitch is a strike. Changeup floats into the outside corner. Now 2-1 on Irving Falu. Mike Gaffney on deck for High Desert. Chavez's 2-1 pitch is fouled off to the left side. That went out towards the Mavericks bullpen. And that's going to bounce in the back of the bullpen. Reliever Greg Atencio, and to jump out of the way of that one. So the count evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So again, tomorrow, Family Feast Night, sponsored by Aloha Liquidation Systems. All hot dogs and sodas on sale for just $1. Also with an Irving Falu player magnet giveaway, sponsored by Frontier Homes. Well, Falu sends one out to center field. Going back on the ball is Josh LeBlanc, but he got a good jump on it and hauls that one in front of the flagpole, about 380 feet away from home plate. So 2 down now for High Desert in the bottom of the 7th. That brings Mike Gaffney to the plate. Gaffney 1 for 3 in this game. Singled and scored in the 4th inning. Gaffney, his home run came earlier in the year in a loss to the Inland Empire 66ers. So that was his first home run as a Maverick. First pitch on the way, and he drives it out to left field. That's an easy can of corn for Pat Riley. He's underneath it, makes the catch, and that'll do it. Well, the Mavericks bat for the cycle and flying out to the Rancho Cucamonga outfielders. Lucas goes to right, Falu to center, Gaffney to left. And that'll do it for High Desert in the 7th. Now moving to the 8th, still 3-2 in favor of Rancho Cucamonga. So going to our Mavericks fans, we'll be right back with the 8th inning right after this. Welcome back, Mavericks fans. 3-2 in favor of Rancho Cucamonga. Now moving into the top of the 8th inning. It's going to be Sean Rodriguez, Drew Toussaint, and Baltazar Lopez. And up against a new Maverick reliever, right-hander Justin Barnes. First pitch from the windup on the way to Rodriguez, and that's a fastball for a strike on the corner, 0-1. On the season, Barnes, 2-3, a 4.39 ERA. 41 innings, 48 strikeouts. Opponent's batting .294. The next pitch misses just off the corner. Yeah, the count 1-1. Barnes has found good success in transferring over from the batter's box. As the next pitch swung on it, missed. A fastball by Rodriguez. The count 1-2. Generally, it's a bit of a bumpy ride when you have former position players going out onto the mound. But Barnes throws strikes. It looks polished on the mound. The next pitch is a curveball, poked out towards short and left center field. Backing up is Falu. Turns around, makes a grab. Oh, my goodness. Irving Falu makes that catch about 70 feet or so beyond the infield dirt. So that's the first down. And again, that was a good pitch by Barnes, a good slider. Rodriguez really went down and had to just pop that one up. Again, Barnes well beyond his years here on the pitcher's mound, as there's now one out and Drew Toussaint stepping in. Aaron Pullen now getting loose for the Quakes. Pullen over in the Rancho Cucamonga bullpen. This is a new look Quake bullpen. The first pitch to Toussaint, a big looping curveball. That one finds a strike zone in the count 0-1. Drew 0 for 3 so far today. That just means he's right. Here's the next pitch is on the way, and the curveball bounced foul into the Maverick dugout. And it's now 0-2. Toussaint always saving his best baseball against the Mavericks. 6 of his 10 home runs, 11 of his 23 RBIs against the Mavs. Barnes looks in. Right-hander rears back from the windup. The 0-2 pitch. Check swing. That one misses upstairs on the appeal. No swing. And it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes against Toussaint. Toussaint seems somewhat lanky at the plate, but believe me, there is some oomph in that swing. And when he hits the ball, he can really send it a long way. The 1-2 curveball about to the left side. Up with it at third is Ed Lucas to throw to first in time. And there are now 2 outs for the Quakes here in the 8th inning. Meanwhile, the flagpole straightaway centers. Absolutely limp. Wind no longer an issue in this game. And that's what you usually see at this ballpark once you get into the 5th innings and later. As that the wind all of a sudden dies down. It's not what it's like for the first couple innings. Of course, those early season games at this ballpark when it's chilly, well, who knows? First pitch is hit in the air to center field by Baltazar Lopez. Moving over, Juan Senrizo looks up, puts it away. Justin Barnes gets the Quakes 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left. Now heading to the bottom of the 8th. We'll see if the Mavericks can tie it up. They're sending their big guns. Plateward, Sidolka, Brown, Senrizo coming up right after this. Stay tuned. Welcome back, Mavericks fans. Time for another Titan Insurance pitching change. Rafael Cruz Chavez went 2 innings in this game. Gave up 1 hit, struck out a batter, and that's it. 2 scoreless innings. He gives way to Aaron Pullen. Pullen, the right-hander, free agent pickup back in 2003. He's out of Midland, Texas. Last year in the bullpen up in AA Arkansas, he was 5-6 with a 5.03 ERA. Struck out 53 in 77 innings. And Pullen, he just came down from AA Arkansas, and Emilio Diaz went down to the Arizona League Angels. That's interesting to see. Diaz was 4-0 with a 1.54 ERA. Excuse me, 3-0 with a 1.52 ERA. And he was taken off this roster. That leads you to believe there were some discipline problems. So 3-2 Rancho as Mike Sidolka leads off the bottom of the 8th inning. Pullen working from the stretch. In on the grass is Sandoval at third as the first pitch fouled back by Sidolka. The count 0-1. Sidolka, Brown, and Senrizo. So far today, Sidolka 0 for 2, though he walked his last time up. Pullen's 0-1 pitch. Changeup misses up and away, and the count now 1-1 on the Maverick DH. Pullen, the right-hander, set. The 1-1 on the way, and that one's driven deep out to right center field. That one back at the deepest part of the park, and that one is over the wall. That's a home run to tie the game. Mike Sidolka reaches down and just pulverizes that ball out over the 415 side in right center field, and we're tied at 3. for Mike. Home run number 8 on the season. And RBI number 36. And now, the way things have gone between these two teams the last week, I knew no Quakes lead was going to be safe. The Mavericks able to jump all over Cohen on that first home run. The Mavericks have struck today. Here's the first pitch to Rusty Brown. That one is taken inside for a ball. The count now 1-0. Cohen set again. The right-hander comes home, and the fastball misses up and away. The count now 2 balls and no strikes. Brown so far today doubled and scored in the 4th inning. That came in 3 at bats. The 2-0 is on the way, and that one's ripped foul down the third baseline. Brown around on that one. And Jared Plummer, who had been hanging out on the bench just in front of the Maverick bullpen, really had to jump out of the way, or else he was going to get a black and blue mark. So 2-1 now on Rusty. We're all tied up at 3 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Setting up outside is Collins. The 2-1 is popped up in between the infield and the outfield. Backing up on the ball, Nate Sutton. He looks up, reaches out, and puts that one away. The catch made with his left hand, his glove hand. Back right next to his shoulder. And the count now is now 1 out as Juan Senrizo steps in.
Number 14, Juan Senrizo.
So Senrizo, an RBI double, actually came away with 2 RBIs back in the 4th inning. 2 of the 3 RBIs today for the Mavericks. As the first pitch, a changeup in there for a strike. Senrizo just couldn't time that one correctly. He didn't swing. But boy, there was a high leg kick there from Senrizo, and he was licking his chops waiting for that pitch. Well, we'll see if the Mavericks can come up with another extra base hit here in the bottom of the 8th. The 0-1 swung on and missed on the slider, and the count 0-2. Senrizo would have been better served going after that first pitch and laying off the second one. 3-3 tie, bottom of the 8th inning. And the Mavericks, an excellent team in those close ball games. The 0-2 slider misses away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mavericks in 1- and 2-run games this year are 25-11. 18-8 in 1-run games, 7-3 in 2-run games. Well, we're tied up at 3 in the bottom of the 8th. Setting up inside Collins. Pullen comes home, swung on and missed. And that will retire Senrizo. The ball actually tipped into the glove of catcher Michael Collins. Came on a changeup, so Senrizo retired. That'll bring up Adam Donahue to the plate.
Adam Donahue.
Donahue 1 for 3 today. Singled his last time up. That was in the 6th inning. And it came off of Rafael Cruz Chavez, the lone hit that he surrendered. First pitch to Donahue. Strike on the outside corner. The count now 0-1 on the Maverick catcher. Setting up inside is Collins. The pitch is on the way, and that one is taken just low. And things now evened up at 1-1. The Quakes, in the top of the 9th inning, going to send up Sutton, LeBlanc, and Remeli, the 9-1-2 batters. Meanwhile, the 1-1 pitch is driven out to center field. A long run, though. Will anyone get there? LeBlanc trying to get there, but it's going to be the second baseman, Nate Sutton, who goes into short left center field to pick that one off. Excellent ground covered by Sutton. So he might have to take back all the things we said about that Rancho Cucamonga defense earlier in the game. That was an excellent play by the second baseman, and that'll do it for the Quakes. I should say for the Mavericks in the 8th. But the Mavericks get the equalizer, a towering home run to right center field by Mike Sidolka. And 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, no men left, now heading into the 9th. 3-3 tie, we'll be back after this. It's a 3-3 tie heading into the ninth inning. And you've been with us for the last couple of years. You know that these are the types of games the Mavericks often pull out at the end. Nate Sutton stepping in. He just made a fine catch in left center. We'll see what he can do at the plate here. Sutton, the second baseman, so far on the day, is 2 for 3. He has 3 stolen bases on the evening. First pitch is taken for a strike. Barnes is in there with a fastball. The count now 0-1 on the Rancho Cucamonga second baseman. Barnes again from the windup, and that one is driven out to center field. Enrico will be there. Jogs a bit to his right, now comes in, makes the catch. 1 out. And we'll bring up Josh LeBlanc to the plate. LeBlanc singled in the first and started off the game. Since then, struck out 3 times. LeBlanc has often been frozen up by good breaking pitching. And Barnes has a very good-looking slider. So we'll see if Justin goes back to that pitch and try and retire LeBlanc. Once again, the first pitch is on the way. That's a check swing. The curveball misses inside, and the count 1-0. 3-3 tie. Mavericks tied it up in the bottom of the 8th inning. A solo home run by Mike Sidolka. The next pitch is hit on the ground in between first and second base. And that'll go into right field for a single. That one, Gaffney was playing over closer to first base than you might realize. There was a small window of opportunity there for LeBlanc, and that's exactly where he placed it. Out of the reach of Brown and Gaffney, just on the ground. And with a runner at first base and 1 out, the batter is Cliff Remley. Meanwhile, looks like Kevin Jepsen starting to get loose. Over in the Quakes bullpen, the Mavericks hit the Rancho closer hard the last time they faced them. First pitch is in there for a strike on Remley, and the count 0-1 on the Rancho first baseman. Brown holding on LeBlanc over at first base. Mavericks defense hoping to put up another 0 on the scoreboard and give their bats a chance to win it in the bottom of the ninth. The 0-1 changeup just misses off the corner. And it's now 1 ball and 1 strike on Remley. Throw again back to first base is not in time. This game, we've really seen a lot of throws back to first base today. It's a tight ball game, you know, close, low scoring. Well, the pitchers don't want to get the hitters to have any extra jumps on it. Another throw back to first, tag applied, dive back by LeBlanc, but he's safe. Dodgers batting in the bottom of the 8th. They lead the Seattle Mariners 4-2. Dodgers hoping to salvage 1 game from the M's before the Pirates come to town. 1-1 to Remley. Slider just misses inside. And the count now 2 balls and 1 strike on the first baseman. That was a hard slider from Barnes. From up here. Looks like he connected with a strike zone. The 2-1 pitch is popped foul behind home plate on a changeup. And the count now evened up at 2-2. Good to have a reliever like Justin Barnes who can go out there and throw strikes. Barnes is walked just 11 on the season. Two and two. Another throw back to first base. LeBlanc diving back safely. Justin Barnes, one of the many Mavericks out of the state of Florida. The 2-2 pitch, a curveball, misses low and in. And the count now full. We have a big pitch coming up to Remley. Mavericks do now want to put the potential go-ahead run at second base, especially with the middle of the Quakes lineup coming up. Sandoval stands in on deck. Count at 3-2. Barnes is ready. He comes home. The pitch check swing misses upstairs. They're saying he went around, and they threw him out at second. They're saying he went around back behind home plate, and that's almost shocking. I did not think he went around, but the throw to second base in time, the strike him out, throw him out, ends the inning, and the Mavericks bat's going to come up in the bottom of the 9th inning. So for Rancho Cucamonga, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, no men left heading into the 9th. The Mavericks going to send up McFall, Tomlin, and Lucas right after this. welcome back, High Desert baseball fans. This is a situation the Mavericks want to be in, tied in the bottom of the ninth inning. The Mavericks performing well in these types of situations. And the Mavericks now going to go up against Rancho Cucamonga closer Kevin Jepsen. Jepsen's last appearance against the Mavericks, he lasted just 2/3 of an inning. With 4 runs on 5 hits, they were earned. It's going to be McFall, Tomlin, and Lucas here in the bottom of the ninth for High Desert. As Ryan McFall bats against the Rancho Cucamonga reliever. He's only allowed 1 home run this year. The first pitch hits Ryan McFall in the shoulder. That one grazes him, and the Mavericks going to have the leadoff batter on first base after the hit by pitch. 1 pitch is all it takes to put the Mavericks on the base pass. And now Tomlin going to have to lay down a bunt here, trying to bring McFall over to second. Meanwhile, Jepsen on the season, 0-1, a 3.42 ERA, 10 saves and 12 opportunities. This is not a save opportunity. 23 2/3 innings of work. He struck out 27, walked 15. Opponent's batting .272 against the righty, and again, he's allowed just 1 home run. Tomlin, an excellent bunter. He squares around, pulls back. The pitch misses low. 1 ball and no strike. That was a hard sinker by the right-hander Jepsen. Kevin, right-hander, 6'3", 215 pounds, out of Chandler, Arizona. And he struggled at the end of last year for Rancho, posting a 10.66 ERA at the very end of the season. The 1-0 again, squaring around and pulling back is Tomlin. That pitch misses low. And it's now 2 balls and no strike. 3-3 tie, bottom of the ninth inning. Mavericks hoping to take a first game of this 3-game series from Rancho Cucamonga. Next pitch is bunted, foul to the right side. That one just glanced off the bottom of Tomlin's back over to the right. And the count now 2-1 on the Maverick left fielder. High Desert has won 8 consecutive games against Rancho Cucamonga, including a 7-game home-and-home series sweep. With 4 games in Adelanto last week, 3 over the weekend at the epicenter of Rancho Cucamonga. 2-1. Jepsen comes home. The batter squares. It's a good-looking bunt to the right side. Up with it is Remley. The throw to first is in time. That's almost high down the first base line, but the Mavericks will take the sacrifice. McFall over to second. Tomlin, meanwhile, comes up with his second sacrifice of the Mavericks. Now it's time for Ed Lucas to try and come up with a game-winning hit. Speed on the base pass. McFall, an excellent athlete. He can definitely score from second on the ball hit into the outfield. The bunt fielded, 3-4. There's the first pitch to Lucas, and on the ground to the right side, moving over is the second baseman Sutton. He gloves it. The throw to first is in time. Oh my goodness, what a play by Sutton. Really covered a lot of ground getting over to his left. Reached out his glove, picked it off. Had he not gone there, the Mavericks would have won the game. Meanwhile, the throw to first base was also low, and that was an excellent pick over at first base by Cliff Remley. So Rancho Cucamonga flashing the leather, at least in the later innings tonight. And now it's a chance for Irving Falu to be the hero with a runner on third base. Of course, Mavericks won a game last week against Rancho Cucamonga on a wild pitch. We'll see if history will repeat itself here. The first pitch on the way to Falu is taken upstairs for a ball. The count 1-0. On deck is Mike Gaffney. With 2 bases open and the winning run over at third. I'd be surprised to see the Quakes pitch around Falu here. The next pitch misses outside, and the count now 2-0 on Irving. But an excellent game-saving play by Nate Sutton. That's been 2 excellent plays on the field by the second baseman. And that's why we're still playing baseball here. The 3-0 is fouled back. That was a hittable pitch. And Falu misses that one. Just sending it back above the screen up towards the press box. On the count now 2-1 on the Mavericks shortstop. 3-3 tie, bottom of the ninth inning. Runner at third base with 2 outs. Ryan McFall and Irving Falu over to make Jepsen pay for that hit by pitch of the first pitch of the bottom of the ninth. Next offering, fouled back again, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes on Irving Falu. Tomorrow night is Irving Falu Player Magnet Night, sponsored by Frontier Home. And, well, Irving Falu wants to set the precursor to that night. The game-winning hit here on Thursday night. The 2-2 pitch on the way. That one misses upstairs. The count now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gaffney stands in on deck. Already has a game-winning base hit for the Mavericks this year. That was in the Friday night game against Visalia. Another game the Mavericks had to rally to win. Mavericks, an excellent come-from-behind team this season. They were down 3-2 in the 8th tonight. Now tied up at 3, the winning run 90 feet away. Jepsen comes home, and the pitch misses off the corner. That's ball 4. So Falu over to first. We'll see if Mike Gaffney can get it done for High Desert as he stands in against Jepsen. Meanwhile, pitching coach Eric Bennett now out to the mound to go have a word. The right-hander Kevin Jepsen. There's a difference between Eric Bennett and the pitching coach Scott Buckner of the Inland Empire 66ers. By this time, Buckner would already have been out to the mound 4 times tonight. And this is Bennett's first trip out to the mound. It's in the bottom of the 9th inning. 3-3 tie, runners at the corners for High Desert. Mike Gaffney hoping to be the hero once again for High Desert. Gaff so far today, 1 for 4, singled and scored in the 4th inning. Meanwhile, home plate umpire Brad Lawhead shakes things up on the mound. Gets all the position players back to where they're supposed to be. And we'll see if Gaffney can send a base hit to the outfield and win this game for High Desert. Gaffney on the season with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Is batting just 133, 3 RBIs, and 15 at-bats. Jepsen is set. First pitch on the way is a fastball. It's chopped foul to the left side out towards the Maverick bullpen. And the count now 0-1 of the Maverick second baseman. 3-3. A good low-scoring close game here. It's a good duel between Maverick starting pitcher Billy Buckner and Quakes pitcher Carl Jelinek. No runs were scored until the 4th inning of this game. The 0-1 to Gaffney, hit on the ground to the right side. That's into right field, and the Mavericks going to win this one. Mike Gaffney, an RBI single, and High Desert takes this one by a 4-3 count. An excellent inside-out swing, pokes the ball to the right side, in between the second baseman Sutton and the first baseman Remley. And High Desert takes the opener of this series by a 4-3 score. High Desert continues to win the close games. The Mavericks have now made it 9 in a row against Rancho Cucamonga. And there is much joy here in Adelanto tonight. The Mavericks win this one 4-3. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have the Valley High Toyota Honda postgame show coming up right after this. Stay tuned. Now let's compare the Mavericks and the Quakes. Well, the Mavericks play in a good serviceable facility. It's fun to come out to the Adelanto Stadium out here. Mavericks have excellent fans that come in. It's a fun place to be here. Meanwhile, the Quakes play in that spicy new epicenter. We can't really call it new. It's 10 years old now, but they pack in 5,000, 6,000 fans a game with their wacky promotions and their mascot named Tremor. And, well, today it's the Mavericks are the better baseball team, and it's been that way for quite some time. Mavericks come away with their 9th consecutive victory against the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, 8th in the past week and a half. And the Mavericks come away with a 4-3 victory in the 9th inning, courtesy of Mike Gaffney's RBI single to the right side. Line scores on the game for the Mavericks: 3 runs, 8 hits. For the Quakes, 3 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. For the Mavericks, 4 runs, 7 hits, another no-error game for High Desert. And the winning pitcher in this one is Justin Barnes. He is 3-3. The loss goes to Kevin Jepsen. It is 0-2. Time of the game, 2 hours, 36 minutes, a crowd of 1,251 on hand. Now, the theme of the day today was defense. And we talked about, with Rancho Cucamonga, if you just keep hitting the balls out there on the field, you just keep putting the balls in play, don't strike out all the time, eventually Rancho will make errors. And they did. They made 2 errors in this game today, but neither error factored into the score in this contest. Meanwhile, Rancho actually came up with some pretty good defense over in the later innings. Of course, there was that stop by the second baseman Sutton that prolonged the game for a couple minutes, and also the running catch by Sutton in left center field. A lot of ground covered there. But then again, it was the Mavericks with no errors today. The Mavericks made every single chance count in the field. So today, the Aloha Liquidation Systems player of the game is the High Desert Maverick defense. Again, putting up a goose egg in the error column. Maverick defense has just been spectacular this season. High Desert features a much-improved defense, now second in the league with a .969 fielding percentage. Modesto leads with a .972 mark. But Irving Falu's mark at shortstop, the .972 percentage, that's the highest in the league. And the 48 double plays Irving has turned, that's the third most amongst shortstops. Again, there's Juan Senrizo in the outfield. He didn't have an outfield assist today, but, you get the point when we say the Mavericks are strong up the middle. And again, the defense came to play. Meanwhile, it's time for the High Desert key hit of the game. And sorry that Mike Sidolka misses out on that one, because that was a game-changing home run at the bottom of the 8th inning. And, boy, he muscled that one over the right center field wall, the deepest part of the ballpark. That one well over 400 feet. As that one was over the part of the fence where it cuts back out towards the advertisement, where they wheel out the batting cage to bring it in, as Mike Sidolka comes away with his 8th home run of the season. But, of course, the High Desert key hit of the game goes to Mike Gaffney for his base hit to the right side. To bring in the winning run, Mike Gaffney finishes 2 for 5 on the day. And Gaffney, that's the second time he's won the game with a base hit in the 9th inning. The other one came in the 10th inning. That was against Visalia earlier in the year on the Friday night. But Mike Gaffney really turning into someone the Mavericks want to see up at the plate when the game is on the line. He's an experienced veteran on this ball club. And he is exactly the type of leader the Mavericks need to be looking to. When they get into the second half, someone that could really set a good example for the entire team. Not that the Mavericks really need an example. This is a team that's really playing good baseball right now. High Desert continues their winning streak, still has won 8 out of 10. And the Mavericks have now won 10 out of 12 games right now as we enter play tomorrow. Back here in Adelanto, so congratulations to the High Desert defense. Another congratulations to Mike Gaffney for the game-winning RBI single. Also, good to see the Mavericks relievers come in and do their job. Another flawless night for the bullpen. And Mavericks relievers, 2 1/3 scoreless innings. Adam Rowe, maybe the biggest out of the ball game, getting that strikeout earlier in the game. He struck out Pat Riley swinging with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 7th inning. So big thank you to Adam Rowe. Of course, Justin Barnes, the 2 innings to pick up the victory. And Justin rewarded with his 3rd victory of the season. Well, I want to remind you, Mavericks fans, tomorrow night is Aloha Liquidation Systems Family Feast Night at the ballpark. That means all hot dogs and sodas are going to be on sale for just $1, starting when the gates open at 6 p.m. It is also a player magnet giveaway, and that's going to be the likeness of Irving Falu on a player magnet. The first 1,000 fans in attendance, courtesy of Frontier Home, will receive an Irving Falu player magnet giveaway. So it's going to be a fun night to be out here at the ballpark tomorrow. And, of course, there's also the fireworks night on Saturday night, which also happens to be my birthday. It's the John Rosen fireworks night. That's sponsored by Coca-Cola. So what a great night to be, a great weekend to be a Mavericks fan. You get the Thirsty Thursday tonight, tomorrow night, player magnet giveaway, as well as the $1 hot dogs, $1 Cokes. Then a Saturday night fireworks show to top off the pre-All-Star break half of the schedule. Well, the pitching matchup for tomorrow, Mavericks going to go with right-hander Kyle Christ, who has really emerged as one of the Mavericks' most reliable pitchers this year. Christ, 3-1, a 4.02 ERA. I watched the bullpen sessions of Christ down in Inland Empire a couple days ago, and that curveball is nasty. That's getting better with each outing. Christ does a good job of working inside. He's doing an excellent job of working from the stretch, and he's been going deep into the ball games, which is exactly what the Mavericks need to do as the starting pitcher, starting to come around here on the season. Meanwhile, Mavericks move to 13-3 when Buckner starts the game. When Chris starts the game, High Desert's 7-3. Numbers on High Desert's side. Well, Chris, the right-hander, going to be countered by Micah Posey, the left-hander. Posey, 2-8, a 4.35 ERA. Pre-game show starts at 7 tomorrow evening. First pitch at 7:05 p.m. Well, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who helped make this broadcast possible. Thank you to Bob Bowen, baseball historian, as well as Jack Tucker, official scorer. Thank you to everybody back in our Victorville studios, Clear Channel Talk 960. Roxanne Scafidi, thank you once again. Roxanne, you just continue to win and win and win whenever you're doing our games. I want to lock Jeremy out of the studio, make sure he doesn't come and produce any games against Inland Empire anymore. Meanwhile, big thank you also to everybody else. We said Jeremy Watson, big thank you as well to Barb Stanton, Joe Pagano, big thank you as well to Rob Sinclair, Director of Broadcasting for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. I'm John Rosen saying thanks so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Until then, be well, everybody. Have a great evening. So long. Bye-bye.